You are now rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse podcast, where they think they know everything, but honestly, they don't know shit.
These summer league games and they tell you about these new up and coming coaches.
I think we should get rid of every motherfucking owner in Chicago.
Enzo and Caruso, both when they are on the court, are like your defensive generals.
But they need to get that strong safety who's not scared to hit somebody.
They really don't know shit.
Hello and welcome to the Chicago Clubhouse podcast, where we think we know everything, but the truth is we don't know shit. I am your fill-in host, Elijah, filling in for T-Nick today, or they call me Easy. Host of Easy Does It, by the way, season 2 coming out beginning of September. Look forward to having you all there. So far, what we've done is we've had, we've had some really good shows in recent weeks. Last great show we had was with the wonderful Miss Mongo, Misty McMichael. She was great, just really awesome guest. I put together a highlight reel of Steve McMichael, and as I was putting together that highlight reel, I just, was realizing it doesn't make sense that it's taken this long to get him into the Hall of Fame. That's just crazy to me. Anyway, I'm only joined with by one co-host today, and we're not on the Facebook page just yet. But I'm only joined by one co-host, and this is the Stat Man, the man who knows every stat from every sport, from football to underwater basket weaving. Let's welcome JB.
Yo, Easy, what's happening, kid?
How you doing, man?
Man, good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I'm glad to be back. Hope the Mongo reel went well for you guys. That was awesome, by the way, that interview.
It was. Like Gary said, though, no drinks near the equipment.
Oh, yeah, for real. Yeah, should be rule number 1. But yeah, no, it was really fun to see. And yeah, as I was like going through these old Bears games from the 80s and watching, putting together those highlights, it was just like, I mean, they were double, triple teaming him every play. I don't understand why he doesn't get as much credit as Dan Hampton or even Richard Dent.
Well, part of the reason why I can possibly say something is when you look at his overall stats, like I said, well over 840 tackles, 95 sacks. He's got better numbers than some people that are actually in the Hall of Fame with less stats, We've said those names last week. We won't go into those guys' names unless they come up again. But my point being is, if you're saying, well, this guy was only dominant because of who he had around him, isn't it possible that the other guys that were around him were as dominant because of him? I think more so because it starts up front.
And honestly, I think the answer is they're all just really, really good. That's why 85 happened. And, it happened the way it did is because you had a bunch of really, really talented guys up front. Even the Fridge, I feel like the Fridge among smart Chicago fans gets a bad rap because, they're just like, oh, he's just the gimmick guy at the goal line. But no, he ate up a lot of space down there. Also, another thing that I noticed is I feel like a lot of the sacks that McMichael was good to get, Richard Dent got. He just beat him there, he
got there first, right?
Exactly, yeah. Richard Dent's a little bit faster, so okay, so maybe that's why the numbers are a little bit skewed, but that's that's just part of the job. Honestly, that whole unit was just ferocious.
But still, put in perspective, Easy. I mean, Dan Hampton, hell of a player, right? Played both D tackle and end. Has less sacks than Mongo, but is in the Hall of Fame. Mongo as a defensive tackle ranks, I think, 5th among all defensive tackles in sacks, only behind like Aaron Donald and John Randall, Warren Sapp, guys of those ilk. That in itself is amazing. So for him to wait this long is just a travesty over 30 years. Hopefully the wrong will be righted tomorrow and we'll know.
Yeah, for real. And honestly, like, it would just be cruel of whoever is on that Hall of Fame committee if they're keeping him waiting this long just to be like, no, sorry, you're not getting in. But no, I do think he will get in though, and I do think we'll get that good news tomorrow.
Just on that though, we had a Hall of Fame guy, a Hall of Fame contributor on as a guest a while back, and some of the things that he was able to share with us, I'm just gonna be honest. Some of these people that hold Hall of Fame votes shouldn't be voting at all. They're overly biased. They want to keep numbers low for whatever reason. I mean, it's a travesty it took Terrell Owens 3 times to get in. It's a travesty how they're doing Mongo. It's a travesty how they're doing Devin Hester right now. Okay, he's special teams, but last time I checked, there's 3 phases to football: offense, defense, and special teams. So if he's the greatest to ever do something at that position, is that not Hall of Fame worthy? Is that not even first ballot Hall of Fame?
Exactly. And not to mention, just like I like to throw in when talking about Devin Hester is that, like, his number 1 position was special teams returner, kick returner, punt returner, of course. And you don't look at just his touchdowns. Just remember how many times he had big returns in flip field position. Also, he did contribute on offense. People like to say he wasn't a very good receiver, but I mean, for someone whose number 1 job was the return game, he did a pretty damn good job as a receiver. He still got receiving highlights. Yeah, he wasn't like a number 1 guy, but he stretched the field, and defenses always had to be aware of his presence. And
absolutely. And anytime he was on the field, he was a threat, right?
Yes.
And he did what he did in the biggest moments, playoffs, Super Bowls. The Arizona game, I don't think anybody has ever damn near single-handedly turned over, a game like he did.
Oh, yeah.
And here it is that we're talking about how coaches change their game plans. They would rather take the kick out of bounds than to kick it to Devin. We'll give up 35. It was volumes.
We were getting blessed with a very good field position for a long time because of the presence of Devin Hester. And, I miss that. I really do miss that. It would be nice to have a returner of that caliber, but I guess he kind of spoiled us a bit.
Oh, absolutely. 1 time in a generation, hopefully 2 in our lifetime. And he may be on the team now. I'm not sure, but as of right now,
haven't seen it from Bayless yet. That's for sure.
Oh, it's definitely not Velvet.
No, and speaking of, the team now, we haven't really had much of a chance yet because of, no drinks near the equipment. But we haven't really had a chance to talk about the preseason games. We've seen some stuff that we like, some stuff that we maybe not like as much. And yeah, we definitely saw Velvet fumble or muff a punt in that Titans game, which was not great to see. And, a couple other problems here and there, but also we saw, I don't know. I've been happy with a lot of what I've seen as well. But let's get the Titans reel started. So for those of y'all who didn't get to see the game, here are some of the highlights.
Here this offseason. First touch for DJ Moore. They used him in a ton of ways in Carolina. This was one of them. And there he goes. Goodbye touchdown. Welcome to Chicago. DJ Moore, 62 yards. Made the trade for this player of Carolina. Listen to these stats. When you look at what DJ Moore has done, he is one of 8 players all time with over 5,000 yards career receiving. Levis hit hard from the backside. It is a sack for the rookie sack. Blitz coming from the Titans. Fields trying to maneuver away and is able to find Herbert with plenty of room to run again. A first down and more. There he goes with some blocks. Herbert still on his feet for the touchdown. He looked dead to rights in the pocket there. Rolls to his left, keeps it going, keeps the play alive, and then just dumps it off to Herbert. What does that say? These aren't long down the field throws. These are run after the catch. He's got time. Look at end zone. Deflected and picked off. Off the hands of Josh Wiley and intercepted. Levis underneath. And the catch made near the 40-yard line. That ball may have come out loose for a moment.
That's a loose ball.
It's Bears ball, indeed. Willis, and he has that ball punched out loose from the backside. It is Bears football. Year 2 to year 3, etc. What do you like to see from your position in a front office as an executive as you see a big run here, breaking loose for the Bears? Peterman lofts it, got a man in Ford. Big block, get rewarded with a big pass play. Isaiah Ford, the former. Levis, deep drop off the play action, looking for something downfield, and time runs out. What a day for Trevis. Bagent's going to let it loose, and it is caught. Darius Fountain. Together last year. And Santos, boy, can't get much better than that.
He could have made it for 55.
That's a split, and that would have been good.
It just came quick. It came quicker than we both expected. Between me and him, just talking about everything.
Willis, end zone, knocked away, incomplete. Bears take over with 1:35 left. Levis lofts it, picked off. It's Braylon Trahan to seal the deal, and a second half Bears shutout.
Some good stuff there.
Oh yeah, a lot of good stuff. Always good to see a Bears win, even if it's just the preseason. And if it's a Bears loss, then who cares? It's just the preseason. So win-win all around. I want to talk a little bit about Justin Fields' 2 touchdown passes to DJ Moore and Khalil Herbert, because that's what they are. They are touchdown passes. I know he didn't throw for so many yards in the air. It wasn't like a beautiful aerial display downfield, but I just don't understand like the vitriolic hate from the media and even from some Bears fans or people who claim to be Bears fans saying like, just, they won't give any credit to him for those touchdowns. And it's like, look, on the one hand, I understand. Yeah, really the playmakers who got the ball in their hands are the ones who did the work. But at the same time, Justin's got to get it to them. And shouldn't we just be excited that like the offense is making plays?
Here's the thing. Who on that team last year was doing either of those?
Oh, hey, we got T-Nick here. That's cool.
All the advertising to get the word out.
I'm gonna mute him. So yeah, no, that's a good point. Like who? Yeah, like that's a thing. The Bears were last in the league in yak, and I think that says a lot about why Justin's production wasn't so good. I want to see what T-Nick has to say because he joined us randomly. Oh, and there's Frank. There's Big Frank. What's up, guys?
They're on location.
They are on site right now. No. Muted. All right, I'm gonna mute you guys. I'll mute you guys. Just gonna talk football in the background. All right, so they're muted and we're talking football. Yeah, that's the thing. Last in yak. And then, DJ Moore, this guy that we traded for, I wish I had a glass that I could toast, but, guy we traded for, gave up the number 1 overall pick for him, immediately comes in and makes an impact on that first play. That was just cool to see. And to see Herbert do it again, like these are what the good teams do. They get cheap touchdowns like that. Maybe he didn't get all the air yards in the world, but it was nice to see him finally get some help. It was just really nice to see that happen.
Well, I look at it like this. If Patrick Mahomes threw that same screen pass to Tyreek Hill and Tyreek Hill took it all the way, nobody's saying anything.
Oh, yeah.
We're just saying, oh, look at how dynamic the Chiefs are.
Exactly.
Well, hopefully the Bears can get that credibility. I think part of it is that we've seen this whole check down screen game ever since, the 90s? Like, this is nothing new.
Right.
For Bears football, whether it's Norv Turner, whether it's John Shute, whether it's any of those guys that were very heavy back in the day on the wide receiver screen, it still is very, very prevalent on the Bears offense today, right? So what I do like, though, isn't it refreshing to see that DJ Moore and Khalil Herbert, first of all, Khalil Herbert caught the ball. Let's start there.
Yeah, right? Like
he jumbled it, right? He jumbled it, but he caught it.
He got it. Yeah.
So let's start there and take that, right? Secondly, we want that Deebo Samuel type, because that's what kind of like what San Francisco does. They'll check that little thing down to to McCaffrey or to Deebo Samuels, and they'll take it all the way, and it's just great offensive calls, or
that's what wins in the NFL, right? That's
right.
how you win football games.
Right.
You
so
get
I'm
it
not
in your
mad
hands,
at
the hands of the playmakers.
Right. I'm not mad at it. Now, I'm also not a fool, because obviously they'll be scouting that, which is what they want, so they can get one-on-one matchups to the outside. The one glaring thing that I saw, and this was even after when PJ Walker was in, I liked how the line held up. The line was pretty solid, kept a pretty clean pocket most of the day. That was not just ones and twos, but twos and threes and even fours. Because as you know, with the wide receiver positions, you got to have depth. With the line positions, you have to have depth. And I like what we saw, at least through that Titans game. Now, last week,
yeah, a little worse.
A little worse early on, but I think we might have something in Tyler Badgett. I don't want to see him just go away.
Well, I don't want to see him play much in general, but I think we got a potentially decent backup there for sure.
Absolutely, but I like the fact that Getsy called plays for him to throw the ball. I hope Getsy calls some of those same plays for Justin. I really
completely. And I think he will. I think that's part of what adding, having a guy like DJ Moore in there is. But we'll see. Hopefully Justin gets the start in the third preseason game against the Bills, the dress rehearsal game coming up in a few days. Although, you did mention, the last game against the Colts. I put together a reel for that game too. I'm going to go ahead and show them.
Receptions. Again, the screen. Cole, nowhere to go. Loss out of Warren Central. On the handoff, a seam and a first down. Screen. Well set up by Chicago. It'll be a first down against Stewart. Games last year for the Colts. On third down, Bagent going to look to run. Bagent dives and scores. Touchdown, Chicago. And an extra point away from tying this game before halftime.
They're going to try to throw it in. We have a big gap in the rush lane between Johnson and Mohammed. Yeah, and playing with the 2s and 3s all your life.
Oh, ball is out. Quickly recovered by Freeland.
Anytime you keep score, it really doesn't matter when it is. You want to win it. There's no doubt about that.
Bill Jaguars, second year here with the Indianapolis Colts. Odangbo got her on the right tackle. Couldn't get to Peterman. He will run again. He's got some yards to pick up. Ball knocked out.
Greatness out of it. Here's the first question I have, and this is an obvious question, but
let me jump in before you make that question.
We want to come in walking softly and carrying a big stick. We want to try to catch people by surprise. That's obvious.
Burns again, the setback. Peterman looking for the end zone. Good looking throw. Fountain. Did he hang on to it? Yes, he did. Touchdown Bears. The former Colt gets one in his own building.
Yeah, absolutely torched Rush on this play. Of a comeback tonight. Basically what he did, he gave a stutter to Rush, and the rookie bit and slowed down, and then Fountain, he
most of last year. Peterman again does not have a timeout.
Come on, Rush.
Just trying to buy time as best he can, and done. Already a touchdown reception for the former Colt. Peterman throws and catch made.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff there. Even for Peterman, that was a great throw to find Fountain in the end zone.
Absolutely. A little late, could have been a little, because he definitely had the guy cooked. One of the glaring things, and I want to poll this out, Samuel Blackwell, you are absolutely right. I really don't care if all of Fields' yards are yak.
Completely agreed.
And what he said about Kansas City, which is why I brought them up, is also true. Number one in yak, but number one in air yards as well. So here we go again. Let's not measure him by Justin, but let's not act like what he did was phenomenal, but also let's not act like what he did wasn't good, or what the team did wasn't good. We will definitely take that, right? One of the glaring glows, right, that I like, who does Roschon Johnson kind of remind you
of? Me, David Montgomery.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, just like he's got that, he might be a little more dynamic.
To me,
you agree, T-Nick?
To me, Roschon Johnson reminds me a lot of Matt Forte, and that's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
That's a great thing. He's got speed, hands, great one cut move ability, and he's running over people too.
He's so tough. That run against the Titans where he just broke like 6 tackles, that got me so hyped. I'm so ready to see him on Sundays. Like, that's definitely like Roschon. I completely agree. He's been one of my favorite players so far this preseason.
He definitely has. I do like the compliment, the line on that, because some of those runs too. Shout out to Cody Whitehair for not only going back to playing center, but also going back to play guard when Doug Kramer came in and started. Good to see Doug Kramer, U of I, on the field.
Yeah, Kramer did well.
And actually, Alex Leatherwood didn't look bad, which was surprising.
Yeah, it is surprising. And I do think, and this is something that I said last year, and something that I'll stick with, is I do think he's got potential to be a really good swing lineman, someone who could fill in at any spot and do a decent job. There's a reason it was a first-round pick. There's a reason he went to Alabama. And I do think that he might find home with the Bears. I don't think he's going to be like, a top-tier starter anytime soon. But I could see him filling in along a line that it has kind of been depleted, especially recently, with injuries to Tevin Jenkins, which is a big, big bummer. And then Darnell Wright went down today, rolled his ankle. Not sure what the latest is on him yet. But, yeah, those would be huge blows.
We'll keep an eye on the Darnell Wright one for sure, because that'll probably be more like day-to-day. The one that I'm really concerned about is the Tevin Jenkins one, because he has 2 calf injuries, and just as we're seeing what's going on with Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, those calf injuries can be lingering. And like we saw with Kevin Durant, a calf injury can turn into an Achilles real quick.
Yep. So it's better for him to, sit out the early part of the season for sure, I'd say. Because we do know how those injuries could end up. On the one hand, it's like, you got to play through pain. You got to be able to tough it out. But on the same time, it's like, those calf injuries could turn into something serious. So please, Tevin, you got to get that thing right, man. Take some time off. I believe his name is, I might be butchering his name, but I can't pronounce his first name, but Carter.
Jatari Carter.
Carter. Yeah. He's been, word is that he's been doing a really good job.
He has. Now, what I'm worried about, there probably won't, and I'm just going out on record, there probably won't, but Nate Davis has been back practicing. We haven't seen Nate Davis pretty much all season yet, OTAs, anything. He's just been around. I don't think against Buffalo, I don't think you put him out there. I think you preserve him, especially with the injuries. If anything, you might give him a series just to get his nose busted a little bit. But when you have Nate Davis, then you have the ability to swing Whitehair back to guard, have Doug Kramer or what's my buddy from last year's name who didn't do too well, Lucas Patrick at center. I think the Bears can be okay on the line right now if Tevin Jenkins needed to just, take another week or two into the regular season just to make sure that he's healthy. But then you come back full tilt with Whitehair at center. You got Davis and Jenkins at the guards. And then you have Darnell Wright at right tackle, and then you have our big boy at left tackle. I think the Bears' offensive line have done a complete 180 from last year. And not to say that they were great, except for the run game, they were just middle of the road in the past. But I'm looking forward to seeing what this offensive line can put together.
I completely agree. I think they've definitely taken a big step up. The main thing right now is obviously health and just cohesiveness. I just want to make sure. I want their communication to be very good and strong so that they're just not letting free rushers get to fields, because that's the most important thing. We got to keep number one upright. I was going back and I was watching some Eagles highlights the other day, and part of what made Jalen Hurts so effective is that guy had all the time in the world to throw. He was just sitting back there and he could just wait and make his throws. And I just want to see a situation where Justin could do that, because we know what he could do when it's time for him to have to escape. But if he could, be upright in the pocket and just sitting there, ready to make his throws like he did at Ohio State, that's huge. That's absolutely huge.
It is, especially on and notice what you saw. You saw Leatherwood play a little tackle. He played a little guard. Like someone just said, would be able to possibly save his career. Manuel Valverde, I couldn't agree with you more. Stated that, the comparison with Matt Forte and Roshan Johnson, who I feel personally, again, guys, I'm not a Khalil Herbert basher. I'm not. But when I see what Roshan Johnson can do, and then I look at what Khalil Herbert possibly can do, I think Khalil Herbert is the odd man out. I really do. I mean, we know Travis Homer will probably be special teams, right?
Right.
If Roshan Johnson and Dante Foreman are 1-2 punch, I'm satisfied with that. And Herbert come in as a third down back for, whatever. Not for blocking, for damn sure, not for blocking. But
no, definitely not for blocking. But, Roshan strikes me as the kind of guy who's going to be able to take on some pass rushers. I feel like just based on what I've seen, he seems like a football guy who's willing to mix it up, get a little dirty with the big boys. And
I agree with that. And another thing about that is, remember, guys, Luke Getman said he wanted to get off the bus running. He wants to get off the bus and run the ball 65% to 35%. If we can just get that more like 55, 45, we'll be in good position, because now if they're stacking the box on the run, that means we have one-on-one on the outside, and we can take those deep shots that we want. We want to see Justin get 4,000 yards passing, about 500 yards, 600 yards on the ground. We want to see that. We want him with 20-plus air touchdowns and anywhere from 5 to 10 rushing touchdowns. We want Roshan and that whole running back room to have 10 to 15 touchdowns combined. That's what we want, because that's what balance does. Now,
and in addition to that, it's just like, you got Roshan. Like, if you're able to get him going and you're able to get teams to start stacking the box, then look who you have on the outside. You got not just DJ Moore, who you just picked up, who's a clear number one receiver. You also got Mooney, who's, probably a high end too, I think. There's been debate among Bears fans about whether or not Mooney's a 1. Well, now he doesn't even have to be a 1. He could be a 2. And so really, you got the speedy Mooney on the outside, speedy DJ Moore on the other side. Like, defenses are going to, like, if everything goes right, defenses should struggle defending this Bears offense, especially when you throw in Claypool, 6'4", who runs as well as he does. Like, this should be a threatening offense. It's just a matter of, will Justin Fields have time, and can he get the ball to the right people at the right time?
I would say yes, but again, from what we've seen, I saw Badgett do something that I wasn't able to see Justin do much last season. And I actually saw Peterman able to do what I wasn't able to see Justin do. So maybe Getsy is loosening up on the play calling, maybe trying things with the 2s and 3s to see if he can bring it up to the 1s. I just look at, and let's be very clear, this is not an indictment on what Justin can't do. It's just what the coaching philosophy is. But you have to kind of start passing the ball to the people that you brought in. Otherwise, they won't stay.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? DJ Moore didn't come here.
An expiring deal. Mooney is going to have an expiring deal. Yeah. No, play, like, especially wide receivers, they want to get paid. And the only way to get paid is by getting the ball, which, on the one hand is a good thing, because that means, you'll see Claypool, really putting in a lot of effort this year. And you'll see Mooney, going balls to the wall. But at the same time, it could be a problem, because once they're not getting fed, that's when they start, getting mad with the play calling. That's when they start kind of going Allen Robinson 2020, 2021 vibes.
Kind of rebelling and just kind of
half-assing on blocking plays, things like that. And that's when, that's when you have that leads to locker room problems. And that's the last thing that we want is, locker room problems with this team. The main thing we want is to win some ball games. And I do think that they have the offense, at least on paper, the offensive talent to compete against even really good teams.
They definitely do have the blueprint on paper, which looks phenomenal right now as far as when you look at just what other teams have to offer. Name-wise, we're getting some recognition as far as equaling names to play. Yes, Samuel, I do agree. Fountain was not bad. Like, yeah, I kind of see. Now, here's the thing. I know we're jumping a bit. Dante Pettis got cut today, right?
He did.
Kendall Vildor, which we're like, okay, we've been asking that for years, but it's
for real.
But no, seriously, no. But with Pettis being released, and he was kind of like the special teams guy, does that mean we're really focusing on Velus and Tyler Scott to kind of fill that special teams role, or can we see more Travis Homer get into that kick and punt return? Because I'm kind of on the fence right now because Tyler Scott had like an up and down OTA at training camp. He's kind of up and down in just in general.
He
I wonder
fumbled.
what you guys think about right. You know, and it's like, hell, is this Velas 2.0? Like,
yeah. And Anthony, to answer your question, Claypool will make the team. You don't trade a second round pick for a receiver and then just have him not make the team. Like, he'll be on the team. He might be kind of a head case, but if he's a head case, you could find the end zone, then I don't mind that at all.
Tell me one wide receiver that's worth anything that's not a head case.
Jarvis
They want
Landry.
the ball. But he wants the ball.
Yeah,
he'll tell you, I want the ball.
Yeah.
And that's what we want our receivers to want the ball. Again,
yeah,
we're not that far removed from having Alshon Jeffrey and Brandon Marshall go to the Pro Bowl at the same time.
Yep.
We can still have that with Mooney. Maybe some combination, but I'm thinking Mooney and Moore for sure. Komet possibly at the tight end position because we really didn't see much of anything good of the tight ends. I mean, maybe they're just saving that for some plays, into the regular season. But
I like, I do like the addition of a Mercedes Lewis. I know he's very old, but like he's not going to not help Komet, like that's going to, if anything.
What is he there for?
I think he's there for stability, depth, insurance, and to help Komet.
I say he's there for these two reasons. Big red zone guy, third down guy.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
all.
Good,
though. That's important. People forget, like the signing of and please correct me if I'm saying his name wrong, Yannick Ngakoue. One of the big, the big things about signing a guy like him is you're not bringing him in for, 2nd and 5, when you think they're going to run the ball. You're not bringing him in, for early downs. No, these guys are being signed specifically for third down. And because third is the most important down. You could look at any team who wins the Super Bowl, and I'm not entirely sure about this. I'll have to go back and do some research. But in general, the teams who win championships are the teams who could stay on the field and who could get off the field on defense and who could, convert those third downs, third and long, third and medium. And I think that's kind of the big thing behind signing a Mercedes Lewis and a Ngakoue is, for those big passing downs, you want to have a big target and you got to have a guy who get to the quarterback. It's okay to sign specialists who aren't on the field all the time. It's
absolutely. And that's the big thing. That's why they're specialists, because you're not looking at them to be on the field, every single down, although you would love to have. And remember, we just had a guy 2 years ago, Robert Quinn, who was on the field and got us 18. I think it was 18 and a half, 19 sacks.
Yeah, it went crazy.
But I say pump your brakes on Ngakoue. I think this will be, do you remember the but the more recent Giants that had that NASCAR package where it was like multiple, people in and out the lineup with an aging Strahan, Justin Tuck and them guys.
Yep.
JPP, OC Umenyiora. Yeah. And it was like the revolving door of D linemen. I think that's kind of what you're putting together now. Because, Ngakoue, he's not a 15 to 20 sack guy. Like, I think the most he's ever had in his career, if I'm not mistaken, was 12. But he was also a team hopper. Remember, he was in Jacksonville that's the team he tenured with the most.
He was with Jacksonville, the Colts,
Minnesota,
and the Raiders. Oftentimes, he wasn't playing with a lead. And you got to get the guys playing with a lead because that's when they could pin their ears back and just, know that they're going to be rushing the passer.
But I still look at it like this. If Travis emerges or some combination of Travis and Dominic Robinson emerges, I feel a little bit more comfortable with Yannick being more productive because they won't, shift the pressure and the blocking scheme to him,
right,
to make him double team or kind of like what they used to do to Khalil Mack. But I do like what I saw out of our defensive tackle positions.
Yes, Zach Pickens.
I'm really excited with Zach. You said it. You called it last time we talked. I remember. Zach Pickens. Love that pickup. I think he's going to be one of those just space eaters. I'm not saying that he's going to be Tommy Harris-esque, but if he's in some ilk of Tommy Harris, I'm happy. I'm really excited. And then just the simple fact that we look pretty good stopping the run. Now, although we did not go against Derrick Henry, most people cannot stop Derrick Henry. Right. But I do like the fact that, the Titans are gearing up to run the ball.
Oh, for sure.
And we were able to kind of
And by the way, week 1, we got the Packers. I think they will be gearing up to run the ball with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. That's a good running back combo, and that's something that the Bears need to be prepared to stop. And I'm hoping we get some Edmonds action. We haven't seen any Tremaine Edmonds yet in the preseason.
He'll get in. Well, here's the thing with him. You bring him in, right, and you play the regular 4-3, because in that 5-2, we know Sanborn's probably off the field. But when you put him in, we're talking about a kid that's like 6'5", 260, and runs like a 4.5 40. That is a monster to deal with, both in the passing game and in the run game.
Yeah.
He's going to be, in my opinion, he's going to be our most valuable player on the defensive side of the ball.
Easily.
He's going to dictate a lot when it comes to coverages. One,
not easily, but
I think he's going to be the one that.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's just a force. He's one of those guys where like you got to circle him. Like if you're going to face a team that has a guy of his, physical, just that combo of speed and strength, you have to be aware of where he is at all times. I also like the one player I make an argument is, of course, Jaquan Brisker. I think he's gonna, he's got all the instincts in the world, and I think, if the Bears are able to get any form of pass rush, I think he could have a Pro Bowl year.
Absolutely. Well, I'm thinking he'll be among the league leader in tackles. He'll be among the league. I mean, well, not league leaders, but Bear. For
the Bears,
he'll be among the team leaders in interceptions, and he'll also be among the team leaders in forced fumbles, because he is that strong safety that is not afraid to hit somebody, as T likes to say in his opening monologue. I also feel we haven't really seen a lot of Javon Dexter, but he's coming too. Jaron Dexter, I'm sorry. He's coming too.
Yeah.
He's coming too. And I really like what I see. Just like I said again, think about that NASCAR package that the Giants have.
The rotations, yeah.
That rotation, and it's not really about the size as much as it is the technique and the scheme, the stunts, the delays. And they're not small boys. Like him and Pickens are not small boys anyway. They're strong, they're young, they're athletic. They just got to get their timing down. I like what Dominic Robinson and we haven't found.
Gibson showed out game 1.
Definitely did.
Yeah. True.
And we just really don't know what Dominic Robinson is yet. We're hoping, and we still may have somebody that may just emerge out. I wouldn't be surprised if Noah Sewell gets on the field in some third down, pin your ears back and go after the quarterback's situation.
Oh, sure.
Because he's very promising in my opinion.
Oh, I completely agree. And I think the Bears have done a really good job getting linebackers who aren't, like even in late rounds, who maybe they're not like gonna be every down linebackers, but linebackers who will have value regardless of what team they were playing for. I think Sanborn is an example of that, someone who could get on the field every now and then. I'm not saying he's like, the next coming of Urlacher, but I'm saying, like someone who could fill in rotationally. I think Sewell is, has even more potential than Sanborn, especially when it comes to rushing the passer and all that. And also we haven't even talked about TJ Edwards, who I think is going to, like kind of the Briggs to Edmonds is Urlacher, schematically speaking.
And who's also great in coverage.
Really good in coverage, especially for a linebacker. And
overall.
I think that, that's just very important, especially, especially in the NFC. You want to have, like, for your cover guys, you want to have guys who you want to have linebackers who could cover, so you could, leave them out on the field in the bruising division. And yeah, I do think I like what you're saying all about, getting that pass rush right. Also, Terrell Lewis, by the way, just another sleeper.
Yes.
Just 52 coming off the edge. I'm sure we all got Khalil Mack vibes from that.
I did.
I know he's not Khalil, but like.
I was watching it the other day and I was like, not only is he wearing Khalil, but his name is Lewis and wears 52. And like, he giving me a little Ray Lewis vibe too.
Oh, yeah, for real. Yeah, no, he's definitely turns around and he's Ray, gets after the quarterback. He's Khalil. Hey, maybe he'll be the greatest player that we've ever had. But no, I'm very excited to see what the defense does. My one concern, of course, as it's been for the longest time, is the pass rush, and that's the most important thing. But I think the secondary is strong. Someone in the comments mentioned Kyler Gordon.
Yes, that That was a while ago. Let me see if
Let me see if I can find it. Someone said Kyler. Oh, DBs are looking awesome. Oh yeah, there we go. Especially Gordon, first preseason game. Can't wait to see how they mesh. Yeah, the Bears. I completely agree with you. Kyler looks strong. Looks like he's got that nose for the ball. And I think, a secondary of Brisker, Jackson, Gordon, and Jalen Johnson, that could be a top tier secondary if you get after the quarterback.
If you get after the quarterback, true. Let me add a name. How have you been noticing Tyreek Stevens? How good?
Tyreek, yeah, I was hoping you'd say that. I haven't gone back. I haven't gone back and watched him yet.
Yes,
but I was so excited when the Bears drafted him. I remember reading about him and just like being like, "Oh, this is the guy. This could be the guy."
He's been hitting. He's been right around the ball. He had, I think he had a couple of times where he almost had a pick and thing. Like, yeah, because he on the sideline he stretched and almost had one. Like,
oh, he had one in the end zone. It went through his hands. Yeah, that was annoying.
So, like that kid, and I'm not saying anything about anything because we don't know. But if you go nickel and you have that kid, Gordon, Brisker, Eddie Jackson, and Jalen Johnson, come on now. That's a secondary that's going to cause some problems.
Yeah, that's gonna that could turn into a no-fly zone. And and what does that allow you to do, especially with Eddie back there patrolling, and not letting anything get past him, in terms of like just cover 1, cover 3, whatever. Like he's got that deep middle. What does that do? It opens up blitz potential. If you can't get a good pass rush, then you could start sending 6, 7 guys after the quarterback because you have so many good people in coverage who, want to make plays on the ball. And that's part of why I'm so excited. And I'm just hoping Eberflus is able to see that, like, he is a defensive minded head coach. I'm hoping he's able to see that he has a potentially very good secondary, and it's okay to, send a little extra pressure after quarterbacks, especially Jordan Love week 1 and, Baker Mayfield week 2. Like, you got to get after these guys. You got to just make them uncomfortable.
Remember, though, I agree with you on the Tampa situation with Baker for sure. Like, get after him, get him rattled. He can throw you 2 or 3 of them easily, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I question is because Green Bay does have a very good offensive line. Remember, they were just hurt last year. And with a healthy Green Bay line, and I'm sorry, as much as I love our Bears, Christian Watson one-on-one with the jump ball on a go heave 50-50, that does scare me.
Yeah, no, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. And that's why, you'd have to shade Eddie over the top of Gordon or Johnson, depending on who's guarding him. But Johnson, like the thing about the Packers is, and the reason I'm talking about them so much is they are our week 1 opponent. And man, I want to beat them. We all want to fucking beat them. Finally, now that Aaron's gone, we want to, reclaim the North. And that starts week 1 on, I think we play September 10th.
Yes. So that is opening day. Against the Packers, September 10th. And I echo your sentiment 100%. Strike while the iron's hot, or what do they say? Kick a man while he's down. Because like Jordan Love played very well last week. Like I'm not going to, I mean, you can only judge so much.
He had all day to throw, but he did his job.
He did his job. He did his job. And I'm just saying, let's not take these guys lightly.
Oh, believe me. I think we know by now to not take them lightly, even if Aaron's gone. Like, they've had a leg up on us for a while, and like it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's still a divisional game, and those are always hard. I think it'll be 3 points one way or another.
Like those are the ones that are mostly pick'ems.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's foolish to bet on division games in general, unless it's like, even the Texans will surprise and beat their division opponent sometimes. Like, unless it's the Chiefs, unless it's Kansas City, don't bet on a division game. Like the Chiefs, like Patrick Mahomes owns his whole division, but other than that, like it's just like it's gonna be a pick 'em. I really think, and I'm really hoping that in that 3 o'clock afternoon slot that. The Bears have like I hope they're able to lower the boom and put the hurt on Jordan Love. make him feel very unwelcome as the guy in Green Bay. But, we'll see. That's why they play the game.
Absolutely. I do want to talk a little bit about the upcoming preseason game, our last preseason game against Buffalo. I know a lot of the starters will not play, obviously due to the injury bug starting to show up a little bit in the Bears locker room. But I still get excited because you know what? I do want to see who's the second and third string guys that may make the team that we may be looking for. This might be the game where Tyler Scott breaks out. Does Fountain play again, and we have to make a decision to keep him on the roster. At Tristan Ebner, like where does he fall?
I feel like
right
with
now.
Ebner, he's always felt a little bit like the odd man out to me, just because you got Roshan, you got Homer, you got Foreman, and you got Herbert. That's 4 viable backs right there. Ebner's got an uphill battle.
I'm thinking practice squad to a certain extent, but I'm also looking at the secondary again because we had drafted another guy in the 7th round. His name escapes me right now.
Oh, wait, I know exactly what you're talking about. Stanford, right?
Yeah, the DB.
Stanford. Let me find it. Maybe someone in the comments will remind us.
I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah. But I know what you're talking about. He's like a corner or a safety for Stanford.
He's a corner. He's a corner.
Yeah, he's a corner.
I just want to see him to see what he's got so that we can see if, when we do go dime, are we stretching ourselves thin, which means Edwards would be on the field by himself, because in the years past, remember how we'd have a lot of safeties in coverage? It would be like 3 DBs and 3 safeties.
Yeah.
Like
a big nickel
really care. With the exception of DeAndre Houston Carson.
Kendall Williamson.
There you go.
Yes.
I want to see what he really can bring to the table,
Yeah.
Because I think they cut Vildor for a reason, and I think they cut Vildor because they see something in this kid.
Yep, and same with Tyreek. I think that's also why they cut Vildor.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, why would they cut someone I know Vildor's not good, but he has experience. They have to cut him because they know they have better on the roster.
They have better on, exactly.
That holds true. Hopefully that holds true. Because also, there are some guys that people really liked who, I remember, Thomas Graham, guys like that, like Isaiah Fry, just like these fringe nickel corners. And I've always operated under the pretense that, it's better to turn a corner into a safety than a safety into a corner.
Oh, right? Absolutely.
Because you can't teach people how to cover, but you can't teach people how to hit. People can bulk up. And that's kind of the enthusiasm that I have from a guy like Tyreek Stevenson, who isn't necessarily going to be playing safety, but he'll be playing a lot of zone, and he could be put in situations where he could hit people, lower the boom.
Last strong safety that I know we had that was able to cover and still tackle was Adrian Amos, and of course we had lost him.
Yep, for a long time.
We didn't want to pay him.
Yeah,
we don't have that problem now because with these ascending DBs, it could be the Legion of Boom-esque. And I'm here for it. Alec Williams, I like this. Did you notice he did blitz a little bit more than normal?
Yeah. I think he's trying things out, which is great.
It is only preseason, but still, you look at people with tendencies, right? So I still want to make sure that, if Alec Williams stays true to a fault, then we know he wants to get pressure with the 4 downs. Every now and again, he'll send 5. When they're in the 5-2-4, when they're in the 5-2-4, they're going to have 5 DBs in coverage, 2 linebackers, 4 down linemen. You already know they're trying to, protect.
Yeah.
Let's go after people and make them make mistakes. Let's make these quarterbacks be quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's kind of what Alex Brown talked about when we had him on the show, is just like this idea of, we're not necessarily you could get some yards on us, but we're going to force you to make mistakes. We're going to get the ball out. We're going to make you make a bad throw. We're going to punch it out. We're going to make you make bad decisions. We're going to make you, just make bad reads or whatever. We're going to throw you off your routes and whatnot. It's not just about it's about, the more plays people get between the 20s, the more chances they have to screw up. That's math and that's football. And I think that's kind of what Eberflus and company are going to go for. But the big thing is, last year, we just couldn't get off the field on 3rd down. It felt like every time there was a 3rd and long, I remember Dak Prescott having hours, Rodgers having hours, just all these quarterbacks just sitting back there.
The Washington game, when we had that game won. We gave
What'd you say?
Taylor. Remember the Washington game? We let Taylor Heineke. I think it was like a 3rd and 17 or something. Run around.
It was Wentz.
Like
It was Wentz.
Oh, that was Wentz. I'm sorry, that wasn't Heineke. That was Wentz, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
crazy.
Come on. I'm like, just pinch the guy. Something hit him.
No, like, anything. Like it's so annoying when you're a Bears fan, and as everyone listening knows, as a Bears fan, when you're watching a defense on 3rd down and they can't get any pressure, there's nothing more frustrating than, oh God, he still has the ball and he's standing upright. Like, we want to see quarterbacks on their ass. Like that's what we want to see. That's how we grew up. That's how I grew up. That's how you grew up in the 80s. So I grew up in the 2000s watching like the Tommy Harris and Alex Brown and all those guys get after it, and it's just like, like I'm hoping the defense has made those improvements.
Well, you can go a little closer, Easy, because we just witnessed Akeem Hicks and
honestly,
and Mack and them boys get after it.
No, it's not just like even
Eddie Goldman was even good.
No, honestly. And back with Roquan and all that, that's not even but yeah, no, that 2018 defense was something. But like now we're back in like, it does feel like the idea is to kind of have a Lovey type defense.
I think so. Again, it's a cover 2 shell. It's not the Tampa 2. Not automatically just.
What's the difference?
So it's not a carbon copy of Lovey's defense, because one thing Lovey was bend, don't break.
Right.
And when they got into the red zone, it's like you have nowhere to go.
Exactly.
With this one, I see more of an attacking scheme, but don't get beat deep. That's what I see. Yes. Which right. I'm fine with either way, because you're either going to turn the ball over or we're going to get sacks and turn you over on downs. I'm fine either way, as long as we get off the field consistently on 3rd down, as long as we don't get gouged in the run game anymore, and as long as we put our hands on some of these quarterbacks. That's it.
Yeah. No, exactly. And it's like, I just remember, the one thing that pissed me off a lot about that Lovey scheme was, I just remember like every 3rd down, like 3rd and 5, if it was like 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, it felt like the slant was always open over the middle. And I do think that, like, we have guys who could kind of stop those kinds of things, could stop those quick passes. And that's why, I do like the idea of being more aggressive on defense. And it does sound like that's what they are trying to do, just with that, shell up top to stop everything.
I mean, I would love more press coverage, because to me, if I go man to man, you got to prove to me that you're a quarterback.
Yes, exactly.
In the zone, you have, obviously you have elaborate schemes in the zone, but in the zone, it's like, I run, hey, I'm open, easy pitch and catch. In the man, you might be like, I'm open, and somebody's tapping you on the shoulder like, hey, no, you're not open, I'm right here. And the quarterback sees that, So it's a little bit more, plus with the pressure. So if you can press coverage and add a pass rush to that can be a dangerous defense. I mean, that's what the 85 team did.
Yeah, no, for real. And the 85, I guess what they did was they always had at least 6 guys coming, it felt like.
Yeah,
and again, remember, I could speak with knowledge about this because I went back and watched like all the games this past week, and like it just felt like they were always bringing at least 6 people. And
I'll do you one better. You saw guys in coverage like Leslie Frazier early on, man to man. Todd Bell before the lockout, man to man, early in preseason. You saw Gary Fensick thumping.
Oh, Fensick, of course.
You saw Dave Durson come in. I think it was like a 3rd way through the season. You saw these guys.
Richardson was really good.
Yeah, Mike Richardson, LA Mike, they called him.
Yeah,
sometimes we get beat, but another guy that could get up and press coverage and had a couple of picks. But you saw just the hits philosophy. You saw that then.
Yes,
with that team, you saw that then, and now with this particular team right now, you kind of see little bits of that team coming in. Not necessarily the elements, not necessarily the names though, right? We hope Edmonds can be a Singletary. We hope Edwards can be an Otis Wilson or a Wilbur Marshall.
Oh man, that'd be great.
We definitely do. On the line, my God, if Pickens turns into Steve McMichael, like what?
Oh my God, then
sign me up.
Like Jesus,
sign me up now, right?
No, sign me the hell up for that. That'd be amazing. And like the thing is, it's we drafted Trevis Gibson, I think in 2019, And, when we drafted him, I think out of Tulane, I really liked him because he was a developmental prospect. This is his time. Like, this is the time where the developmental turns into prime. Like, at this point, this is where he needs to show out. Like, I give him a bit of a mulligan for last year because it felt like he wasn't quite right for the scheme. Looks like he might have bulked up a bit or something, because that first game against Tennessee, he was all over the place. And
he did. I like his motor changed, if you notice. His motor changed because his rookie year, he did pretty well. Nobody had any film on him. Because I think, didn't he come in like a 3 or 4 game stretch and have like 7 sacks? Something like that.
Gibson? I know there was DeMarcus Robinson had a couple sacks.
Not last year, the year before, I'm saying with Gibson. It seems like
when they got familiar. It sounds familiar.
When they got a little tape on him, it was like they started to, line play is different, y'all. Line play will have you thinking this man gonna have some success, but they just stunt and draw all the coverage to you. So next thing you know, not only are you getting chipped by the tight end, you're getting chipped by the guard, and hell, you might even be getting chipped by the back.
Yeah, exactly. No, and there's so many little games. The problem with football, and the thing I love about football, but it's a problem when analyzing it, is that like there's just so many little things going on at the same time that it's like it's so hard to really pick out. You just got to like there's so many. You got the nose guard, and how he's interacting with the center, and you got the edge rushers and all the chips and everything. There's just so many little tiny things, and yeah, that's I guess
with you. I started watching football a little bit differently after the Warren Sapp interview we did, because Warren Sapp told us he never follows the ball, just watches the line. And we're looking football. We're looking at the line to a point until the ball.
Right, but we're watching. Our eyes go to the quarterback naturally.
So when I started, watching the line, and I'm like, oh, the guard chip came around the backside and got that robber. I'm looking at the stunts games that the defense are playing, and the center, a lot of time who's uncovered, is shifting down. So everybody's down blocking one to the right, and now the center and the guard are on your best D tackle.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because that's what I noticed. Well, that's what I had to do when I was making the Mongo reel, is just like, I'm only watching the line and I'm seeing those little things. I'm seeing like, all right, like the guard and the center both try to take Mongo, and then he does like a spin move, which he shouldn't be able to do. And,
makes both of them collide.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then the guard and center collide. Exactly. And, I just see, and and that's the thing. I feel like, football, you'll be more educated, like the general people in general be more educated about football if they watch the line as opposed to just watching the ball and watching the quarterback. I think that definitely makes a lot of sense.
And I'm definitely here for it with that line play, because I really do feel, and I know Anthony, thank you, because you've chimed in. Hey, you saw all that. You brought up Doug Plank and everything. You've probably seen every defensive intricacy from the Bears of note since they've been on TV. And I appreciate you for chiming in on that, because here we go again. You see the evolution of the defense, right? But you see the base principles. The base principles are still relevant from those 70s and 80s to today. Because again, you let the quarterback sit there all day, it's hard to cover for 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds. It's hard.
Especially in today's NFL when most receivers run a 4-2,
and you can't touch anybody. So,
and honestly, Skylark, at this point in today's NFL, I agree to an extent. I still think just given what the Bears did last year, I think defense was more of an area of improvement than offense, except in the beginning of last season when the offense was finding its footing. But I don't think it's really a defense offense thing. For me, it's number one is the quarterback, number two is the pass rush. Different sides of the ball. But if you have your quarterback right and you have your pass rush right, and then you have your protection right, then you can win a lot of games. You can win a division for sure if you have those things. I don't know. That's just kind of my perspective on football, and I do think I'm still definitely a Fields guy. Gotta believe in my QB1. But yeah, I'm with you about caring more about offense, but also, like I said,
I'll say this.
Got to be better.
I'll say this. We do care about offense currently more, but we still love our defense. Our defense wasn't as bad as we thought it was because we didn't have a pass rush and a running game. Remember, our secondary still did a hell of a job.
Exactly. And that's the big thing is like the 4 up front. Like, I'm very glad we don't have Al-Qadim Muhammad anymore, to just kind of exist. Like, it seems like we have people who can actually make a difference now, but it's like, it's there are some good offensive lines in the NFC, Green Bay, Philly, San Francisco.
No, you said
Washington.
Washington's got a great offensive line.
Yeah.
And defensive line. Shit.
Yeah. Sam Howell's been looking really good this
Hey, he looked very good. I was looking like I was like, wait. That's not the Sam Howell I remember in college. Like, when did he?
Yeah, no, I was not a fan of him.
Arm, but I didn't know he was able to do that.
Yeah, no, he was very, very impressive.
Shout out to Eric Bieniemy for bringing that Chiefs offense to the Redskins.
Yeah, no, it's working. It's working for them. They're doing good. So far, obviously, we haven't seen the season play out, but
for them, remember their starters were playing well into the half. So
yeah, that's true too. And that was interesting to see the Ravens lose their first preseason game in like 4, 5, 6 years. I don't know how long. But
actually since like 2015, I think, like 8 years.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a while. But yeah, I could see like that NFC East. I think every team is going to be better than they were last year in that division.
Easy. I want to get a question from you because we haven't really spoke about this now. Where do you have us overall ranked in the NFC?
The Bears?
Well, not just but offensively and defensively, just looking on paper. Where would you have us? Because there's a lot of room for us to take advantage in the NFC, in my opinion.
In the NFC, I think we're like middle of the pack, somewhere around 8 or 9.
8 or 9, okay.
Yeah. And the reason I say that is I think Fields is good. Like Fields produces a lot with his legs. Also, Skylark, I do want to get to that. I want to get to your what if question. So post it in the comments while we discuss this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think right around 8 or 9, I think we have potential to get up to like 4 or 5 because look, I'm not a huge Daniel Jones guy, right? I'm not like the Cowboys do a lot of good things on offense. Okay. The Eagles, I don't think they're going to regress necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But then like you look around, the Vikings are pretty good. Yeah, no, I'm sure. The Lions are, like they had a good offense at times last year, but also, very inconsistent. I think the whole NFC South sucks. Just in general, like I don't think there's a lot going on there offensively. So that's why I think, yeah.
That's interesting you say that. Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, look, I think that Derek Carr is definitely an upgrade to whatever the Saints have had the past few years.
They're going to be a problem.
What'd you say?
They're going to be a problem.
Yeah, I think that they have the edge in the NFC for sure because that defense is stacked, and they always, if
their
they were able to
offense
shut down
is
Brady, they were able to shut down Brady all the time. Just imagine what they could do to Baker Mayfield. And
that kid that they just got, the running back that's supposed to come out and compliment Kamara for the first. Oh my God, he had himself a day the other day.
And Kareem Hunt, like they got
and they added Kareem Hunt, and then
the receiver,
Keyshawn Johnson's nephew is healthy.
Yeah,
number 13.
I know you're talking about.
He's healthy. You got Chris Olave down there.
Olave, yeah.
I think so. So here's my hierarchy. Obviously Philly, obviously San Francisco, right? 1, 2 offensively.
Yes.
Then the third team that scares me in the NFC, y'all may not agree, right? But like I said, I really do feel the Saints is up. It's a problem. They're up there.
No, they're good.
But then after that, only because I know what Minnesota has done in the past, you have to respect their offense. Then, Detroit is kind of like a coin flip.
Yeah,
I got the Bears offense could possibly be around that 6th or 7th range.
Yeah, I could see it. I could definitely see it. Again, we have the pieces for sure. And, obviously, I like to lean optimistic. We're a Bears podcast. I want to put good, positive thoughts out there about the team. Not that it necessarily helps anything, but, just in case it does, it might as well be positive. But also, yeah, I don't think that's overly optimistic at all. I think that's like, we got all the pieces. We got 3 capable running backs in Herbert, Foreman, and Johnson. We got a dynamic young quarterback, improved offensive line, really good receivers, solid tight end. And also we got Tunyon still. So that's
another red zone third down guy.
Yeah, no, I think that the Bears, and I think we got a lot of depth on that offense. So yeah, I could definitely see a situation where the Bears get to that 7-6 range of offense. I don't think they're going to be great this year, but I think they'll be good. I think they'll definitely show improvement.
And that's all I'm looking for. I'm not like obviously winning 3 games, however you take it. I mean, if we triple that, that's 9 wins. 9 wins could possibly get you the division or get you close to a wild card.
Look, I just want to be playing.
9, I'll take.
I just want to be playing meaningful games in November, December,
late in the year.
That's the main goal. Yeah,
absolutely.
Like that's what I wanted for the Cubs this year, is to be playing meaningful games in September, and the Cubs have been good. Like the Cubs are in the playoff race right now. It's all I could hope for.
Absolutely.
And that's what I want for the Bears. I want them to be playing relevant football, so we could tune in on Sunday and not just be like, all right, who's making the team next year? What's the team going to look like next year? Being focused on
watching out of fandom and not excitement.
Exactly. Not like future excitement, watching because like I want to see my team win. And yeah, I love that attitude, Anthony. That's great. And Skylar, if you could post the question whenever, man. Yeah, and
is he ready? Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Skylar.
Yeah, just post it and we'll get there. But yeah, I just think we'll I think we're gonna definitely surpass expectations. Can't do worse than last year. But I'm not going to lie.
We better not do worse than last year. Wait a minute.
Yeah, if we're worse than last year, then everything needs to go. But I could see us winning, in the 7 to 9 wins in that range.
And I'm okay with 7 to 9 wins just because it's the way you get those 7 to 9. If it's shootouts or the ball just had a funky bounce here or there or some weird bad referee call or something, I'll take that.
Right.
If it's Justin could have done XYZ, but the coaching didn't allow him to, and it was the same old Justin run, I'm not happy with that.
Not at all. And that's when we'll have to seriously reevaluate the head coach position and, just the whole coaching staff. The what if question is interesting. So what if the Bears in the 1982 draft didn't pick McMahon, but got Marcus Allen and kept Vince Evans at quarterback, and then in 83 drafted, I guess, one of what was that, Marino or Elway? What would have happened? I guess that first of all, that backfield of Marcus Allen and Walter Payton, Jesus Christ.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Great question, Skylar, by the way. I like what you did there, right?
It's a fun question. Very fun.
Vince Evans, they said, could throw a ball towards a brick wall and crack the brick wall. That's how strong his arm was.
But could he hit the brick wall?
No, he can hit it. Now, it may not be in the circle. But
yeah.
He can hit it, right? He can hit it. The reason I say no, that they wouldn't have been dynamic, is because, for one, back in those days, your feature back was your bell cow. He was your workhorse. The Eric Dickersons, the Walter Paytons,
Earl Campbell,
OJ. Tony Dorsett's, OJ's, you know what I'm saying? The Zonkas and those guys,
Yeah.
those guys, like, that was the guy.
Right.
Complimentary backs like Marcus Allen would have been wasted. Really would have been wasted, right? And the other question, the other side about that, yes, I know. First of all, Todd Blackledge, hell no.
Yeah.
Just no.
If I've never heard of him, probably a no from me too.
Well, here's the thing. So let me put it back up. I'll give you the lineage. Todd Blackledge was supposed to be the guy and ended up being a bust. Like, Todd Blackledge was picked over Dan Marino. That tells you all you need to know about scouting back then.
Got it.
Jim Kelly actually went to the USFTL or USFL, whatever, for a couple of years before, right? Tony Eason was one of the 2 quarterbacks the Bears pummeled in the Super Bowl. So,
Steve Grogan was the other. Yep. Not Steve Tony Eason.
And Ken O'Brien, just no. Nothing against Ken O'Brien.
No, I don't think it would have been much better.
I mean, he was with the Jets, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was whatever.
I don't think it would have been much better than a Tom Zach or a Fuller.
So I'll say this. Ken O'Brien is a poor man's Boomer Esiason.
Okay. Okay, fine.
I'll be fair with that. Now, had they got Marino, obviously you see what Marino did in '84. He went to the Super Bowl and lost the year before the Bears won. Cool, whatever. But the reason why I say no to Skylark is this. Look at how many games Jim McMahon defied Mike Ditka, and it led to victory.
Dude, McMahon, every time, like, I went back, like I said, I watched all this tape. He was good. He was really good. Like, I mean, look, he made some mistakes. Like, there were some dumb interceptions there, but, like, honestly, the closest thing I could think of is straight up Brett Favre. Like,
he was Brett Favre before Brett Favre.
No, he was making throws that, like, in today's NFL would have, been, top 3 on SportsCenter. Like, he was making some of the craziest fucking throws I've seen. And, like hitting McKinnon on these bullets in the end zone and just like, catching passes wide open from Peyton. And just like his problem was staying healthy. It feels like
it was so definitely health. And here's the thing. Let's go back. One day we'll get the footage and show it to you guys. We talked to Dennis about it when we had Silky D. Shout out to Silky if you're out there watching. Jim McMahon was not supposed to play in that Minnesota game, and he kept because he didn't practice. And Mike Ditka was like,
I know
practice, you don't play, right? We're losing. It's bad.
Yep.
McMahon famously is like, dude, you're going to piss away the game if you don't put me in. Finally, he says, whatever, go in. Calls like a 22 dive. McMahon was like, no. Play action, bam, first play, touchdown.
Well, I'm sorry to correct you, JB, but so what he did was he called a screen. I saw the Walter Payton documentary. But what happened is Walter Payton, he saw the linebacker cheating in the middle. He saw him leaning up there to blitz. And so Payton didn't run the screen. He blocked the linebacker because if he didn't, McMahon would have been murdered. And he gets a piece of the linebacker. McMahon, kind of stumbles.
Yeah, he stumbled
on his ass, throws a dime to Willie Galt, who catches it, runs in. Bears, cut it to 1.
And that was his first play.
It was his first play. And then he hit McKinnon on the next play. I think he had 3 touchdowns in 3 plays or something
crazy like that. Yeah.
But the first play, it doesn't get off without Walter Payton, throwing that block on that linebacker. But McMahon was like, Ditka was like, what the fuck did you do? What did you do? And he's like,
I scored.
Or what did you call? I called a screen. What did you do? I threw it to Galt. Why did you do that? Who cares? We scored. Like, why are we making a big deal about it? But yeah,
that's my point. McMahon not doing that because Blackledge would have screwed that up.
Oh, for sure.
Kelly or Marino probably would have ran the screen because they were afraid of Papa Bear, of him.
Of sure.
But McMahon had enough moxie, enough grit to just be like, hey, dude, relax. Let me do. You didn't bring me here to hand off to Walter 30 times a game. You just did it because you knew what I did at BYU. You knew I was throwing the ball all over the yard.
Yeah, he had so much it's almost like he was a bit ahead of his time in terms of just having so much swag, but being able to back it up on the field.
Fine line in those days between swag and rebellion, right?
Right. And it seemed like he really blurred that line and sometimes went to both sides of it. Rebelling against, wearing the Roselle headband.
Right. That was
that's rebelling, but that's cool. I'm all for that. But it seems like, just watching those highlights, he was just all the throws on the run. That was some crazy shit. It's exactly what they brought Doug Flutie in to do, except McMahon was just much bigger.
He was just better at it.
Yeah. And I feel like if he wasn't so reckless with his body, he could have definitely won a couple Super Bowls.
Again, that very next season where statistically the Bears defense were even better that year,
Charles Martin.
He slams McMahon, separates his shoulder. If
it wasn't for that, that's why I've held this. That's why I extra hate the Packers, by the way. It's just
And that was a 14-2 season, by the way.
Yeah, no, they were really good that year.
I want to say, we lost to the Redskins, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, lost 2 years in a row. Lost to the Redskins in the playoffs. One of them was 27-13. The other one was a 4-point game.
Well, one of them, One of them was Mike Tomczak, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think one of them was Tomczak. One of them might have been Flutie.
Right. The first one for sure was Tomczak. Because
Second one had
got
to be
him when McMahon got hurt in the 85 campaign when we won the Super Bowl. It was a guy by the name of Steve Fuller that played those 4 games.
Yeah, Fuller sucked. Like everything I've seen of Fuller is he was just
game manager.
He did have a really cool block. I have a clip of it. I've got to put it up at some point. He had a really good block on one play. But no, he wasn't very he just doesn't seem like he was very good.
Just a game manager. And I'm okay with that because the defense was like, we got it. Don't worry about it.
No, exactly. And that's why it worked when he had to start games in 85, like against the Cowboys and won 44-0, because, you have a defense like that. Yeah, of course you're going to kick ass.
I think that was Randy White at quarterback too for the Cowboys. Oof.
Or Danny White, yeah.
Danny White, Randy White was a defensive guy.
No, I wonder how much he would have made in today's NFL as a punter and a quarterback. It's just something interesting to think about. But no, what was I going to say? But yeah, those 86, 87 teams against the Redskins, it's like, I when I was looking back at that, it feels like I think they could have won the Super Bowl if they beat the Redskins either year. Because
I got a question for Skylark.
Yeah, let's hear it.
In regards to that, he mentioned Dan Marino, possibly us getting him out of Pitt. Name me, Skylark, and I don't care if you look it up. Name me the quarterback the Bears had in 1993-94.
I know it.
I know you know it.
Yeah.
I know you know it. But I wanted Skylark to know because
it's where we cue the Jeopardy music.
Skylark, you got 10, 9, 8, 7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do you have it? Do you know it?
Give it to him easy.
All right. It was. I'm realizing it could be. It was Harbaugh, right?
They had redrafted Jim Harbaugh, right?
Right. They had Harbaugh, and didn't they have Kramer?
So we got Kramer from the Lions afterwards. Harbaugh ended up going to the Colts.
Right.
Took them to the AFC Championship game, by the way.
But 93, Harbaugh was with the Bears.
Right. So I bring that up because after that season, Dan Marino was a free agent, and we didn't go after him.
Why?
He ended up re-signing with Miami, and we did not go after him. We had a chance, had a boatload of money too, had a chance to go ahead and get him.
Was the defense good enough at that point to? I mean, I know we had some playoff teams. 94 and 95 were playoff teams.
I mean, they're still Wannstedt years, you know. But again, we're talking about the defense being solid, but the offense was our problem.
Yeah.
Dan Marino could have solved a lot of that problem.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. Especially like Neil Anderson, pretty good, it seems like. But yeah, Kramer, I guess, was 95. 94, it looks like I just looked it up to make sure. It was Steve Walsh.
From Miami.
Yeah. No, for the Bears.
Right, from Miami. He went to
from Miami. Was he any good? I mean, he helped us get to the playoffs.
He was good in Miami, or he was okay in Miami.
Yeah.
I think he won a national championship, didn't he? After Gino Torretta? I think he did.
Probably. You would know more than me about that. I'm not as much a college expert. But yeah, that's too bad. We really did miss out on a lot of pretty good quarterbacks. We drafted, may rest in peace, Cedric Benson over Aaron Rodgers,
Cedric Benson over Sean Merriman.
And over DeMarcus Ware. Like, yeah.
Hall of Fame DeMarcus Ware, guy.
Yeah, Hall of Fame DeMarcus Ware. No, but also, like, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, we would have saved us a lot of torment had we picked.
It definitely would have. I mean,
the logic was we have this young kid, Rex Grossman. Maybe that wasn't the best logic.
Only Rex because he went to Florida and Steve Spurrier was throwing the ball all over the yard. They probably really wasn't watching Cal and what Rodgers was doing to Cal. Probably
yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of people, missed that opportunity for sure.
As vaunted as the Bears defense has been over the years, strong points being linebackers, you don't take Sean Merriman? Lights out?
Yeah, I mean, look, again, I still think, for me, the one that, look, I get it. Merriman was amazing but first of all, he only had a couple good years in the
No,
NFL.
Until he started, because he was steroids, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, which I'm on record saying I'm fine with steroids, but yeah, he did have a PED suspension.
Right. But I think he had a good in the beginning. I think he had a good 4 to 5 year stretch. He got to that second contract, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
He definitely he had at least one unbelievable year. I remember with the Chargers.
And at that time, he would have been perfect for what we needed on the Bears in that Super Bowl run. Because think about it like this: no shade to Hunter Hillenmeyer, right?
Sure.
But Sean Merriman with Urlacher and Briggs, come on, man.
Yeah, I hear that. But does that
they might have reeled him in? They might have reeled him in and kept him straight.
Yeah, but look, I hear that, but at the same time, that doesn't fix not being able to move the ball on offense. That doesn't fix having a quarterback who can't take a center snap.
No, but what it does fix is it does what the Ravens did when Trent Dilfer was their quarterback. We're going to win.
That's true. And, it would have made us favorites in the rain. That's for sure. Yeah, would have been. That's fair to say. Getting even I do think. Well, I guess DeMarcus Ware would have been more of a fit in a 3-4. He's a traditional 3-4 outside linebacker, but Merriman, he probably, you could have plugged and played him. Could have been the Otis Wilson type.
Absolutely. I mean, just if we were playing Madden or back in the day Tecmo Bowl, and you had your linebacking core of Lance Briggs, Brian Urlacher, and Sean Merriman, you're not losing many games.
Oh, not at all. Well, first of all, I'm blitzing Briggs and Merriman every time and patrolling the middle with Urlacher, and you're not.
Right, you're going side to side.
yeah. You better run the ball every play, or just throw a screen every now and then. But yeah, that's that would have been something. And we didn't need a running back. We had Thomas Jones and Adrian Peterson. The other Adrian Peterson.
The other Adrian Peterson.
Right.
We didn't need that. And then we had Moose. We had
Berrien,
Marty Booker.
We didn't have we traded
Booker went to Miami, right?
We traded him for Adewale Agunleye,
defensive end. We had Bernard. We had Bernard Berrien.
Yes.
And love him, man. Fresno State, man. That kid.
Yeah. No, he was special. He had he had a really solid career, and he was really good with the Vikings.
He has an NFL record, a 99-yard touchdown throw.
Yeah, it was against us.
Just for right.
Yeah, against us. It was right after.
Right.
Oh my God, I'll take you back here. Let's go back. It was 2008. I was 12, and we're playing the Vikings. We're up 7-0. Hester scored a touchdown on a little slant and just go. We have it at the 1-yard line on 1st and goal. We don't convert. We give it up to them, but we're like, okay, well, at least they have it at the 1. First play, Berrien breezes by Tillman, who I guess, I don't know whose fault it was, if it was Tillman's fault or if it was the safety's fault, but it didn't matter because 99 yards later, Vikings tied the game and they beat us by 20.
Yeah, but we're talking about a guy with 4.3 speed. Come
on.
Oh,
for sure. You
better have help over the top. I agree. Said. Look what Dark Spectre just said about that. I said about 3 to 4 years, 10 sacks in 05, Super Bowl year, 17 in 06, that would have been another Super Bowl year, and then 12 and a half in 2007. I would have loved to have Sean Merriman. Now, the next...
That's fair. No, you know what? That's fair.
Them PEDs caught up to him after that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... But then,
he started getting hurt. He started getting hurt.
Right. But those 3 years of Merriman, yeah, that would have been unbelievable. And, hey, I mean, the Chargers made... They were the 14-2.
God bless
Excuse me. Thank you.
They
were 14-2. The Chargers, yeah. What did you say?
Was that early breeze into Rivers?
It was Rivers at that point because 2006 was Rivers because that's when Breeze went over to the Saints for Katrina.
Right after he
17, they were 14-2 in 2006 with the Chargers, and 2007 they made the AFC Championship, lost to the perfect Patriots by 9. By the way, he was such an important piece of that Chargers defense, and they were so good those 2 years. And yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm starting to agree with you on that. Maybe we should have gotten Merriman over Benson, but look, if we got Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't have been mad. Maybe I'd be wearing his jersey right now, and we'd be talking about the 4 Super Bowls we won over the past however many years.
But don't forget, we keep doing stupid stuff like that. Like we pass on Randy Moss.
Yeah.
We draft Shea McClellan. We don't draft. We draft Mitch Trubisky instead of Patrick Mahomes. Like we keep doing stupid stuff.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why I'm hoping Ryan Pace got it right with Fields. I think that's important.
Hold on, wait. Time out.
Wait, what about the Boz?
Wait, did Anthony Stewart just bring up Brian Bosworth, Oklahoma?
Jesus. Why? Wait, what's the context here? And A-Train, are we talking about Anthony Thomas? Anthony Thomas was off the team by 2005.
Yeah, no, him and Terrell were gone. Him and David Terrell. Matter of fact, David Terrell was in Denver, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was like Denver or something. I think, I don't remember where Thomas went. But yeah, no, David Terrell was definitely gone.
Did A-Train go to the Patriots?
I feel like he did.
I thought he
I'm
might.
going to look it up real quick.
Oh, I ain't looking nothing up. I'm just off the top of the dome.
Yeah, no, I'm going to look it up. You should play Immaculate Grid, by the way. It's really fun. He went to Dallas.
Okay.
Or New Orleans. Both. He played for both that year. And
okay.
But yeah, but no, I don't know why he brought up the Boz, but yeah. What gets me is Bears. Yeah, we missed out on Aaron Donald by one pick. We got Kyle Fuller, good player. He's not Aaron Donald, though. Definitely not Aaron Donald. Yeah, that would have been nice to have Aaron Donald in a Bears uniform the past 9 years. Like,
could you imagine though? Like,
oh my God, yeah, believe me, I can imagine. I'll tell you one thing: if we had Aaron Donald, Rodgers ain't getting that throw off. Oh wait, I guess it was the year after, or I can't remember. When was Aaron Donald drafted? 13 or 14?
Thought he was 14, right? Because this is year.
No, you're right. It was 14.
Yeah,
it was 14. But yeah, no, I mean, just a guy like that. No, we would have been.
Oh, that's what Anthony's talking about. Yes, Brian Bosworth was on
PDs. Yeah.
So was Bill Romanowski. So was the incredible bust Tony Mandarich.
Yeah. The greatest goal line prospect in the world or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Who ended up, by the way, having an okay career.
This is the crazy part. I had that damn Sports Illustrated with him on the cover.
Oh, really?
Looking like the Hulk. Like,
yeah, talk about the cover curse. Hey guys, never tell me that Aaron Donald stat again, please. Yeah, fair. No, it's kind of a bummer that we missed out on him, but that's hindsight. Hopefully we found him. Maybe Zach Pickens is the next Aaron Donald or Warren Sapp or something.
Well, I'll say this because I'm just looking at polls and what he's done so far. He is making, from what we decided, I like the picks that he's made because remember, last year Ryan Poles was interested in DJ Moore. This year he got him. So I like the fact that he stayed the course and got his guy, right? But he also got a position of need, which we were talking about on that line. So next year, I'm just throwing this out there. DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney resigns, we do good. Claypool's, whatever. Tyler Scott, Bayless, whatever. Do we go best D end available or do we go Marvin Harrison Jr.?
That's a question, and I think it just kind of depends on how the year goes. I think also depending on if we re-sign Mooney and Claypool, right? If we re-sign Mooney.
Right now, I'm of the belief that because of all the locker room, and we're again, guys, we're not reporting what we know. We're reporting what we've heard.
Yes, and what we think.
So if Claypool is perceived to be a problem because he wants the ball this or that, a la early Keyshawn Johnson, that may be valid, but that doesn't mean we're going to re-sign him, especially knowing that we got 2 first-round picks next year, ours and Carolina. And I don't care what nobody say. You can put all your love into Bryce Young you want to. That team is going to be trash. I have them no more than 4 wins. Seriously. The only team that I got worse than them, feel me on this easy, is the Cardinals because we don't know when Kyler Murray's coming back.
Yeah, no, I have no idea what to expect out of Kyler Murray.
They don't even talk about him, right?
Yeah, no, we don't know what's going on with them, and they just lost their number 1 receiver too in Hopkins. Hopkins going to where did Hopkins go?
Well, remember, didn't they just give what is his name? Not Andy Isabel. They lost Christian Kirk the year before that. Remember, Christian Kirk went to Jacksonville. So they don't have any receivers.
Yeah, they don't have receivers. Their defense, they have Buda Baker, who's really good. That's about it. If they're smart, they'll trade Buda Baker now. Get something for him, get some picks for him, because I mean, like that team is a dumpster fire, absolute dumpster fire. But really, yeah, we just have to remember, Bears fans, those of you who are still here, remember, we got to root against the Panthers big time this year. We're not just Bears fans, we're Panthers haters. And that's just for this season, because we want the number 1 pick again. And we could get it without losing this time. All we need is for the Panthers to lose a bunch of games. It's a lot of house money right now riding on the Panthers. So every Sunday when you tune in, we're not just tuning in to root for the Bears. We're tuning in to root against Carolina. Let's go Falcons, Bucks, and Saints.
Absolutely.
All right? Like, that's huge for us. We wanted to lose every game. No offense, Bryce Young.
No offense, and none should be taken, but he just doesn't have a very good team. And now that's one thing that I can say in personal opinion and watching. That team has nothing that we have to look forward to. Kind of similar to the Texans. So him and CJ Stroud are kind of like in the same position. Mm-hmm. They're just, this is going to, Anthony Richardson, that's just going to be all learning this year. So if they only win 2, 3, 4 games, cool. Let them learn and let us benefit off them learning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, we will happily take the benefits that come from that. And that's like when we, I think when we had Trubisky in 2017, we traded a first rounder to get him, I believe.
Well, we traded up 1 because we were 3 and San Francisco was 2.
Right.
But we got fleeced because John Lynch made it seem like they were trying to draft a quarterback and get off of Garoppolo.
Yeah. No, I remember it was a I think I might be thinking of the wrong year, but yeah, no, definitely Lynch fleeced us. They got Solomon Thomas, who, by the way, did not pan out for them very well.
From Stanford, did not. Nope.
But also, I think it was the Cutler year in 2009 when we traded a first round pick for Jay Cutler, and we sucked. We were 7-9, and we lost the first round pick that year because we didn't have our quarterback.
But now the next year it panned out.
Because now we have our quarterback, and we got a receiver in return, and hopefully we get a number 1 overall pick too. But yeah, I think it's like it will be nice to have something else to root for on Sundays besides just the Bears winning. Like, we'll be able to root for the future too a little bit, but hopefully, we're too wrapped up in how good the Bears are doing for us to even focus too much on the Panthers. Because
even still, so like if we say Bears are fighting for a playoff, berth at 9-8, 8-9, whatever. That still can be a middle of the road first round pick, which isn't too far from where we drafted Darnell Wright. So if we're somewhere around that 13, 14, 15 pick, I'm cool with that because we can still get a top-notch defensive end, pass.
Yeah, let's say,
and we can still take the Panthers pick and get Marvin Harrison Jr.
Exactly. And, oh, man, Marvin Harrison Jr., in the same offense as Justin Fields. And
I like having options, Easy.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It is very nice to have options and depth. And I think the Bears have done a good job building up the depth, honestly, at this point. Good offensive line depth, good receiver depth. Like they have some guys, they have some decent guys in there who can make plays. And but that being said, we need Marvin Harrison Jr. is one of those guys where he's going to come in and instantly be like a top tier receiver. If he's anything like his pops, he's probably going to be the best receiver because his dad was amazing. Like, people like to say Manning made him. No. Like, Marvin Harrison ran the best routes in the game by far. He made some unbelievable catches. He made just circus catch after circus catch. The one thing about Marvin Harrison is that he just wasn't very loud compared to some of the other receivers.
He didn't talk.
Yeah, he was quiet. Like, he, just kind of went about his business. That's why, he kind of slipped under the radar because, not taking anything away from T.O. or Randy Moss, but they were very loud, very vocal guys, which is good. I like that. It makes the game fun to watch, but also like, they're going to be more popular. Chad Johnson, another good example of that.
Ocho Cinco, great. Oregon State, great comparison. Glad you brought that up.
Yeah. Oh, which one did I bring up? Chad Johnson?
Ocho Cinco, yeah.
Oh, Ochocinco, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh man, wouldn't surprise me if the Packers tank this season to get top first round QB. I hope you're right, Skylark, but I don't think they're going to tank. I don't think
Well,
so.
it doesn't matter if they tank it. We got their pick.
I hope we do. I mean, he said the Packers, not the Panthers.
Oh, I thought he said the Panthers. Oh.
No. I mean, if the Panthers tank, the Panthers won't tank for sure because they
Well,
have
there's no need
incentive.
for there's no need for the first of all, there's no need for the Packers to tank because they need to see what they got in Jordan Love kind of now. Remember, he's been sitting for 3 years.
Yep.
They only got really 1.5 years to see if he's their guy.
Yeah, exactly. So, they could tag him, but then that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all they got with him. But yeah, I don't think they're going to tank either because they are very good. Question: which team raked the Bears over the Coles for a bum? Oh, we're talking about Nick Foles, maybe?
No, because remember they were banking on Nick. Actually, we didn't get Nick Foles from the Eagles after winning the Super Bowl. We got Nick Foles coming from the Jaguars after he got hurt.
Yes, exactly. I was honestly kind of
so that doesn't even count.
I was like, oh no way, he won a Super Bowl. That's cool. He's going to be great. I was kind of wrong about that one. Well,
yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna let you be in that boat by yourself because what I was like was we didn't have a great quarterback with Nick Foles, but we had an adequate quarterback. We had somebody.
Yeah, and I thought that would be enough with the defense. I thought it would be enough, but it turned out he and Nagy never meshed at all.
No, he didn't even play.
Yeah. Also, I mean, when he did play, he didn't do so good that he got benched again for Trubisky. Trubisky wasn't much better. It was just 2020 was COVID aside, it was just a shit show of a season. But yeah, what are you talking about, Anthony, when you say what set the Bears back 10 years? Are we talking about Trubisky? Probably talking about Trubisky.
I can't say he set us back 10 years because we do have a playoff berth. No, actually, we have 2 playoff berths during that tenure.
Oh, yeah. So I wonder who it was.
Right. So I can't say he set us back 10 years. But
was it the Broncos with Cutler?
I
don't think so. Cutler,
NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
We went to an NFC Championship game, so I can't say that either.
Yep. And look, I've never been a big Cutler fan. A lot of Bears fans are like, we're too hard on Cutler. We're too hard on Cutler. No, I think we were perfectly hard on Cutler. The Seahawks. Oh, Rick Meyer. That's got to be, yeah. Yeah, what was that like, JB? You got to tell me. I wasn't born yet. Thank God. I missed that.
Okay, Rick Meyer was called the Golden Boy coming out of Notre Dame.
Bill Walsh said he was the next Joe Montana.
We get Rick Meyer from a failed stint at the Seahawks. He's like every other Notre Dame quarterback. Ron Powless, like anybody after Joe Montana didn't really do stuff. Tony Rice won a national championship, but he didn't do anything. In matter of fact, I don't even think he made the NFL roster with the CFL. So, no Notre Dame quarterback has ever really done anything. So
yeah, and that's the knock on Ohio State quarterbacks. Although things change. 1997. I'm on Rick Meyer's Pro Football Reference page right now.
Mm-hmm.
He had in 3 starts, 420 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Sounds like we got a little fleeced in that trade. And yeah, sounds like we were set back like 6, 7, 8 years. We didn't make the playoffs until 2005 after that. So yeah,
again,
he's right.
Why are you trading for Rick Meyer when he didn't do nothing in Seattle?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, and it's like we had 4 years of footage on him. They gave up a first-round pick, and I believe I'm not going to say the name yet because I don't want to be wrong necessarily, but I'm going to look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'll say the name. I'm pretty sure it was Walter Jones.
That would be Kansas City Chiefs left guard or left tackle, Walter Jones, right?
Yeah, Hall of Famer. Walt Jones, offensive tackle, went to the Seahawks, number 6 overall. And I think they got that pick from the Bears for Rick Meyer. Oh, no, wait. Well, yeah, they did sequentially, I guess they did. Because they ended up getting I think they ended up trading up for Walter Jones. Okay. They traded up for Walter Jones, and then that pick went to the Falcons, and we still, could have taken Tony Gonzalez. Yeah, could have taken Tariq Glenn. Yeah, definitely some really good names. We could play this game for hours and just go back and see who the Bears could have had and put together an all-pro, top-to-bottom Bears team just based on like all the players we missed in the draft. But the thing is, every team could do that. It's just that it feels like the Bears do it. It feels like the Bears mess it up a little bit more than somebody else.
We do it more often because, like, again,
because we have a kind of quarterback.
Why the hell would you give 2 first-round picks for Rick Murray?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The Bears organization was hard on Cutler. 3 head coaches, 6 OCs. That's hard on a QB learning different playbooks. Yeah, I agree. I still think
I'm not a Cutler hater. First of all, I think
I'm not a Cutler hater.
Okay for us. I'm a Cuddy supporter.
I wouldn't call myself a supporter. I'm kind of Cutler neutral. I'm like, I think he was adequate. Not great, not terrible, not good, not bad.
We did a disservice for him because what he did in Denver and made a Pro Bowl through over 4,000 yards. Like, we thought we had a guy.
He threw a lot of picks in Denver too. Let's keep that in mind. Threw a lot of picks.
He's another farm. That comes with the territory when you get a gunslinger.
Yeah, no, I suppose you're right. You know, when you get a gunslinger, he as long as he still has the production, of course, it gets you in the end zone and gets a lot of yards.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, like Favre has like 500 something touchdowns thrown, but isn't he also the league leader in interceptions thrown as well?
Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
Wow.
So you can deal with some interceptions if they come with some big plays. Like Josh Allen throws a lot of picks, but you know he also scores a lot of touchdowns himself. Throws a bunch of touchdowns. So yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna cause some controversy because I'm glad you said that name. I feel Josh Allen's overrated.
Yeah, I agree. You know,
he's good, but he's overrated. I
agree. I think
no Joe Burrow.
I think putting him on the Madden cover was ridiculous. And I think he is, he's definitely not better than Joe Burrow. I think that was proven this year when Joe Burrow beat him on in Buffalo, Bengals over Bills.
In the
Buffalo's
snow.
Going to get shit done. In the snow, yeah. You know, when that game started, I am one take I am very proud of, and I will toot my own horn for this, is I said this plays into the Bengals' hands because Joe Burrow is methodical. He likes to, throw short, make plays, and, nickel and dime people. While Josh Allen's always going for the big play.
He's a big play quarterback, yes.
This plays into the Bengals' hands. And sure enough, the Bengals nickeled and dimed the Bills the entire game, and Josh Allen couldn't get anything done. And 27-10.
Right.
That's embarrassing.
And did not target Stephon Diggs with any type of consistency. None.
Yeah, no, the Bengals took him away and he couldn't do anything. Now, also to Josh Allen's credit, I feel like Buffalo hasn't done a lot to support him in terms of giving him a good ground attack. I feel like he hasn't had any very good running backs with him. He's kind of had to take the lion's share of the carries, which is good, good for him.
Devin Singletary wasn't bad.
He's not bad.
They got Naeem Hines. Remember they picked him up from the Colts.
All guys who are okay.
They're just guys. Dalvin Cook's little brother. I hate to call him little brother, but I can't think of his name.
James Cook, yeah.
James Cook. Like, I get it.
Yeah, what they could have had, what they could have had is Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook didn't want to go there, but that's
I guess maybe, but yeah.
But I just look at it like,
hey, we got E-Rob.
Wait, we do?
Yeah.
Where's Terrence?
Terrence is kind of here. Should I? We got E-Rob joining us. What's up?
Hey.
What's up, E-Rob?
Oh, hey!
What's happening?
How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
We didn't think you were coming.
Yeah, I was here, man. I got back kind of a little late from training, So, yeah.
Hold up. Hey, everybody.
Yeah,
Chicago Bulls alum Eddie Robinson, give it up. Give it up.
Eddie, welcome to the show.
What's happening?
Hey, do me one favor. Turn your phone sideways so we can get the full feature of you. Yep, there it goes. Oh, it didn't go. You got that feature turned off?
Hold on.
Yep, there we go.
There we go.
Man, what's going on?
Yeah, you're the Bulls, Eddie Robinson. Okay, cool. I'm researching you right now. Sorry, wasn't sure.
Don't research me. Yeah. Flintstone, talk to me.
Yeah.
Talk to what's going on, brother?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
We doing, man. We doing good, man. We was just talking a little Bears and stuff, but we're gonna put that on pause right now. Jump right in with you. What's been going on with you, man? Let's talk a little bit about what happened with your career. We know what happened in Charlotte with the Bulls. Let's do, like I said, I got the cat out the bag with the Flintstones. Let's get into it, E-Rob. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm ready. What y'all? As of right now, I've been, just training kids, right? I work for a company called Breakthrough Basketball.
Nice.
Kind of like the #1 camp for basketball camps ages. They go from 3rd grade up to 12th grade.
Okay.
So
That's a wide gambit.
They do about 350 camps this summer, every summer. So I've been doing that. I coached last year at Audi International School. That's out here in Houston, Texas. It's an international school, private school.
That's where you are now. You down in Houston?
Yeah, I'm in Houston. I've been back and forth. I was in Canada.
Oh, okay. How was that?
The last couple of years, I've been in Canada. I was coaching a high school out there, and I was assistant coach at a prep school, RICC Atlantic Prep. So I was doing both of those in 1 year because of that was the pandemic year. So,
got you.
Stuff was spaced out. We did high school games were like Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Prep. So where is the camp in Houston?
Huh?
Is the camp in Houston?
They're everywhere.
Oh, very cool. Nice.
Yeah, they're in all states, and they're in as well. So I do the camps. I do the camp in Canada every year.
Okay, so you just travel up there, have your camp and everything. And
yeah.
Okay, what's that landscape looking like? Because I know right now we're about to talk about the Canadian basketball team right now, possibly meeting the USA team in the gold medal round.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, that's like legit going on right now.
Yeah. Canada basketball, they get noticed now.
Right.
It's a lot of ballers in Canada, so I trained a few of them that's, in high school on their way to prep, through the camp, and, smaller kids all the way up from, 6 years old up to 17, 17 years old. So I've seen it's a lot of talent in Canada. They're getting notarized because I believe once they won that championship with Toronto, with Kawhi, Toronto, right? Basketball got even more popular in Canada once they won that championship.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, so
it was like the roof, almost hockey level, I've heard.
Yeah, like my training started going crazy. I was getting kids out of the blue on Instagram DMing me. So yeah, it was. So yeah, Canada got some ballers.
Yeah,
because we know most famously like Steve Nash. For the younger generation, obviously RJ Barrett. He was actually kind of balling right now, right? So,
right.
But dive into a little bit about that. Like when you're coaching there, what are you looking for when you're coaching those kids? Because I'm assuming the game is the same, but the philosophy might be different.
Well, the great advantage I had was, I trained them, and I had the opportunity to coach them there, for 1 year in high school. So, I think a great advantage I had by being a trainer and a coach is, I'm familiar with the players.
Gotcha.
They can do. I know where they knock most of their shots down during training drills. And I do a lot of skill development during practices, right?
Okay.
Because I believe there's really no time for skill development. Once you're on a team, there's really no time for skill development. And I learned that on my journey. Like you are as you is when you come in. Now if you get around to working out in the summer, that's something different. But as far as like once the season starts, the focus point is more on conditioning, learning the system, learning the players, and all that type of stuff. So there's really no room for skill work.
That's crazy you said that, because now I'm thinking like when you get there, it was different than the journey that you're helping those kids on now. Because once you got there, it was either show or you just ain't gonna make it.
Exactly.
Right.
You was what you was when you got there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I'm gonna let you tell it, because I know your story. Coming up Flint, Michigan, Central Oklahoma. Like, dive into that because I know a lot of our people want to know, like, you know, coming from Charlotte, we was excited, bro. We was excited. Like, we got E-Rob. He was dunking on cats, 6'8".
Yeah, you know me. You know my journey was wasn't textbook at all. You know,
No, one of those, what they call it, the journey less taken or road less taken or something like that.
Yeah. I didn't play high school ball.
Mm-hmm.
I was, outside, as the popular term. We outside, like, I've been outside since I was a teenager.
Right.
But
like Kimbo,
yeah, but I always played with that basketball. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, some of the guys I played with, Mateen Cleves, Morris Peterson, I went to high school and played AAU ball with a lot of those kids, with those guys. And to this day, I still don't know how my AAU coach got me on the team, and I wasn't even playing high school. You know what I'm saying? But I played high school ball, and I got a lot of attention from colleges when we used to go down to Columbus, Ohio, playing our AAU games. Now, back when we was playing AAU back in our days, it was for recruitment purposes only.
It was different. It was more structured.
Win, lose, or draw. We not stacking teams to make sure we win. We not focusing on winning as much. It's about the recruitment. It's about each player going out there and showcasing their talent to be seen by the coaches. And that's what we did. We won some games and we lost some games, but at the same time, the most important thing was to receive the recruitment letter at your high school. That was the end goal. You know what I'm saying? The AAU circuit is of course is different nowadays. Kids are ranked and
But see, isn't that kind of skewed? Because you're literally the testament of, I can play. You just gotta see me.
Yes. Like, I didn't look, and then what's crazy? My journey, like, most kids are big time high school players going into college. Most of them have a name. You know who they are when they're coming in. I came in, nobody knew who I was. So the guys is looking at me like, man, who? Because I started off at a junior college.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that junior college route got D1 players. Plenty of players went pro Division I colleges, and I tell kids, it's not where you go. Don't worry about, oh man, I gotta be at Duke, I gotta be at Kentucky, I gotta be at Michigan. You kind of want to put yourself in a position to where you can showcase your talent all the time, play all the minutes. It's about playing.
Whether it's D2, NAIA, whatever.
Yeah, you look at Devin George. He played Division III basketball
and made it to the Lakers. Got a championship.
So your game is gonna it's your game. It's not the school you're at. Yeah, the school you're at is gonna get you looked at because it's a powerhouse school. Yeah, I get that. But do you want to be a player that's at a powerhouse school, but you're fighting for minutes? Or do you want to go somewhere where you're playing the whole game?
Spotlight's on you.
The spotlight's on you. You create your own buzz, because I'm telling you, and I tell them, we live in a big world, but at the end of the day, the basketball world is small.
True.
It's so small. Once you create a buzz and they hear about you, you're going to see them sitting in them seats.
Eddie, that brings me to that makes, by the way, I'm Terrence. I'm the one that you are communicating with.
Okay.
On IG. What's up, man? So you bring up an interesting point. You said that you brought up the point of fighting for minutes.
Right.
Okay, so when you were in Chicago, did you feel like you had to fight for minutes? And do you feel like that you fit in with the Bulls at that time?
I mean, so the whole Bulls situation, right? So my style of play is like a West Coast kind of play, right? Up and down, shooting, jumping, slashing, right? So we kind of played in Charlotte. So when we went out west, you know, I noticed my scoring average went up, my shot attempts went up because of the style of play. You know, when I was in college, we played that style of play. We trapped, we picked up full court, we causing turnovers. I'm at the top of the 1-3-1 zone. I'm probably quicker 10 times out of 10. I'm probably faster than your point guard at 6'9" because I played at the top of the zone. You know, you want your quick player at the top of the zone.
Right.
To be able to cover ground, and that's what I was able to do. So I got to Chicago, the whole triangle thing was not even supposed to be a factor. We weren't even supposed to be running the triangle. So when I signed with Chicago, we were supposed to be, because we would think about it. We were going to be the youngest team in the NBA.
One up, right.
Yeah.
Well, we were the youngest team in the NBA. Right? And on that team, I was considered a veteran because we only veterans we had was Charles Oakley, Antonio Davis, and Kendall Gill. And then I was the next oldest at 23 years old. Everybody else was Curry, Tyson, 17.
Yeah, little guys.
Because y'all was called the Baby Bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my whole thing was, you know, that whole premeditated offense. I didn't think we had the personnel to run the premeditated offense, which was a triangle, which was a stagnant offense, which was premeditated. Everybody knew what we were doing. You knew this because the Bulls ran.
Right.
This is Phil Jackson's offense.
Right.
It didn't work for us.
And Fred Hoiberg was the coach at the time, right?
No, Fred was playing.
That was Tim Floyd.
Tim Floyd.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was Floyd, bro.
Floyd.
Yeah. That was Floyd.
Oh my
We ran
God.
through 3 coaches. We ran through 3 coaches in 2 months.
Matter of fact, did Cartwright have a little bit of stint with y'all?
Yeah, listen.
Right, I remember that.
They do Cartwright. They do Bill. Man, listen, they do Bill Cartwright dirty, bro.
Right, because you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I was like,
come on, I'm gonna bring it up. Look, bro.
He was the one that actually had y'all balling for a little bit, right?
Yeah, because Bill was like, listen, we ain't running this triangle shit.
Right. I remember that. Yeah. And they said Mr. Quiet Man was outspoken. I'm like, he barely talked.
Yeah, because Bill, I mean, it was if you have a little bit of common sense and a little bit of a basketball mind, you know damn well we shouldn't be running no triangle offense. We got a 16-year-old center that just turned 17 years old. This is our back line of defense. If all fails, we don't have a person we can throw the ball to go get a bucket.
No, he a baby out of Dominguez.
That person and the closest person
and Eddie was a baby too.
The closest person to do that was 19 years old.
Wow.
That was Jamal Crawford.
That's crazy. Right, because I'm about to say, because he came out of Michigan his freshman year.
19 years old. He's bait, man. Come on, man. I'm playing with teenagers, literally.
And you was fresh out yourself.
Exactly. So we trying to figure out the triangle. We trying to understand it and calculate it and figure it out. We just didn't get it. We don't just go keep it 1,000 with you. We didn't like it and we didn't get it because we not utilizing what we can do.
If anything, from what I saw, the best was y'all was best in transition more than anything, right?
Exactly.
More of that, what they call free, right? Run free. Yeah.
Exactly. Anybody can grab this rebound and let's go.
Let's get it. Yeah.
We already playing. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Curry. Y'all didn't teach him nothing. You're more worried, and this is my main point when I bring up. They don't work on skill development in season. You are what you are when you get there. So Eddie Curry I don't know what he did the summer leading up to the NBA his first year, but you saw.
I remember, I can give you a little tidbit about that being here in Chicago. Eddie Curry was obviously coming out of high school for Wood, but he had gotten to the playoffs and there was some team they played for. And at 6'11", 6'11", 7 foot, he didn't even have a rebound in that last playoff game he played, which is just, how does that happen? right? You figure you get one just off of being that big, right? So, mind blowing. But then when you get there and you watch the summer league, right? The whole thing. Well, first of all, let me just be fully transparent. I didn't understand how they was gonna run Tyson and Eddie at the same time. Anyway, kind of if you look at it today, that's kind of like Minnesota's problem with Cat Towns and Rudy Gobert, right? Like I didn't know how that was gonna work, occupying space, especially back then when Eddie wasn't shooting any perimeter jumpers.
No post game at all.
None. So now when you came in, more of a slasher, and you had a little jumper too. People don't remember, but
I had that.
Hey, I'm slashing to the spot where the two big men is at.
Yeah, the triangle.
That's not working for me.
The triangle got you sitting in my way.
Crazy, but that's crazy that people get paid millions of dollars and they don't understand that.
Yeah, people don't understand basketball unless you really played it, and you know what I'm saying. You really got to understand.
Well, I think Tim. So, in my opinion, because again,
Tim
Floyd.
Tim Floyd was another one didn't want to run the triangle.
He was a hand-picked guy though.
Yeah, and they made him run it. He didn't really want to run it. So once he got to the point where, he got you gonna get frustrated.
Well, remember when he was at Iowa State with Dedrick Willoughby and them boys, they was running up and down. That's how they won the Big 12. Calvin Cato and them boys, they was up and down.
That's the game.
Boy wasn't playing, and Calvin Cato was a 6'11", 260-pound center.
Yeah, I remember Calvin Cato.
Yeah, like 97, right? They was up and down. Tim Floyd. Hey, I didn't understand, when he got to the Bulls after that season. I don't get it.
So what do you think was Tim Floyd's downfall? See, he was an awful coach. At least in the fans' eyes. Maybe not in y'all's eyes, but in our eyes, he was an awful coach.
I mean, you can only. My thing is this: it's a players' league, right?
Right.
Absolutely, especially the NBA. Yeah.
So my thing is a coach. I mean, do you really need one?
Great question.
Do you really need one?
That's a great question.
Do you really need one?
Well, if it's Phil Jackson, maybe.
No.
If you definitely in Phil Jackson's system, you definitely don't need one.
No.
He's more of a personnel manager, right?
Now the ball, because when you think about the triangle, the ball determines player movement.
Correct.
So wherever the ball is, that now okay, if the ball's right here, now you got to remember, okay, where I go now. Okay, the ball's right here. So now you got to really know that system, bro, because you know how fast the ball move around, how fast the game is. And what happened with us, we found ourselves thinking too much. Okay, the ball's right there. Oh, shit, that's too late. That's too long to be thinking. Defense set up.
But wait. Let me backtrack. Because when you was with Paul Silas, even though Charlotte didn't have that, y'all had some success. I think y'all had a 50-win season, right? 50, 48, something like that.
Went to the finals. We almost went to the finals.
That's what I thought. And that was Paul Silas, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that was he was like, hey, go be athletic. Go get it.
But we ran regular NBA sets. Side screen and roll, thumb up, thumb down,
pin down.
And we, you know what I'm saying? We can get the ball and go too. But when we get in the half court set, we was good enough. We had enough shooters and athletic guys that can shoot the ball. We coming off pin downs, or we send side screen and rolls. We giving the ball to Eldon. Cutting off him. I'm coming off Anthony Mason.
You said Big Eldon Campbell, didn't you? You said Big Eldon Campbell.
Eldon Campbell, yeah. Set them. These are guys who setting pin downs for me. I'm getting wide open. You ain't getting around them.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. You had a smooth mid-game stroke, man. I remember. Trust me.
I'm mid-range assassin, man.
Trust me, I remember that. I was damn happy you came here.
So Eddie, it sounds like to answer my early question, you were a better fit in Charlotte than in Chicago because in Chicago they were doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, we couldn't be us in Chicago. We were stagnant. We ran. If you get up 15 points on us, the game is damn near over. Because we don't have a quick hitting offense. We can get a 3 off and come back. We don't have a quick hitter offense where we run to the plate and get a 3 off. Like, we don't have that. We're coming down. We're running the same stagnant offense that the NBA has played defense against for years.
So you technically playing into your opponent's hands at that point.
Yeah, because they already know what we're doing.
But I mean, there was
the reason the Lakers got away with it. The reason Chicago got away with it. Look at the players they had.
But you all had names, Eddie. Like,
it didn't work in New York.
No, it didn't work in New York. But I remember. But you all had some notable names besides yourself. Like you all had. Remember? Wait, no. Your first year, if I'm not mistaken, didn't the Bulls draft Marcus Fizer, or they had just drafted Marcus Fizer because he played for Tim Floyd at Iowa State, right?
Yeah, we had 5. We had
so that was like a change in the guard because now you got Chandler, you got Kurt. Like Fizer was a tweener, right? I forgot Ron Mercer from Kentucky. Matter of fact,
Trent Hassel.
Was y'all shooter. You had Greg Anthony,
AJ Guyton. We had nothing but guards.
Didn't y'all have Brad Miller too, if I'm not mistaken, at center?
Brad Miller. Yep.
He was trying to shoot threes at 6'11". So you had like
Brad Miller.
He thought he was Vucevic.
No, but I'm saying, but listen to what you're saying. Like, you had Brad Miller, Eddie Curry, and Tyson Chandler all occupying space in a triangle with a bunch of slashers and scorers, not shooters. Like, how did that make sense? And I'm not saying everybody we named, like, those were good players.
Yeah, it just I mean, you had a bunch of guys that, you know.
Oh, I forgot Jamal. You said you just said like y'all had Jamal before y'all got Jay Williams, right?
Yeah, like we was littlest, like we got 10 guards. Kirk Heinrichs. Don't forget about Kirk.
I forgot. Yeah, Kansas.
About Kirk.
Bro,
I forgot y'all did get Kirk.
Yeah, so it was like
I had a bunch
it was like Tim Floyd and the coaching staff didn't really have nothing to work with.
But I feel like you was coming here, in my opinion. You were supposed to be our starting small forward, somewhere between you and Jalen Rose. Remember? Because Jalen Rose had came over from Indiana, if I'm not mistaken, right? And matter of fact, wasn't not Meta World Peace. What's the boy real name? He was on the team.
Ron Artest.
Ron Artest was on the team, right?
Yeah.
Like the log jam. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, man, it was. I think guys were not interested. It got to a point where the shit wasn't even fun no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas is damn near depressed. Like, man, here we go again. And we're running this triangle. We don't want to do it. We've been outspoken about it. We've had team meetings about it.
But you don't want to do it, and you know it don't work.
We don't want to do it.
Eddie, it showed. It showed.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Showed.
Now you got a bunch of dudes that's not even interested. It's like, man, like, damn, like the joy ain't even in the shit no more.
It showed. Yep.
Like people will talk about the money. Like, we know the money come with this game, but if you ain't enjoying the shit, then that's gonna be your body language. The money, bro.
And then that plays into production, right?
Yes, bro. Like, you gotta be happy, bro. Like, you gotta wanna hoop. You gotta be happy, bro. That's anything you do in life. You want to be happy about the shit you doing.
Right.
True facts, big facts.
That's anything you doing. You want to be motivated to, all right, we got to come back and be better. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was the first time I experienced that in guys as a pro. Because when I came in Charlotte, shit, we came in winning.
Right, and you had that hunger because you was undrafted, so it was a different kind of vibe, right?
the shit was fun. Niggas was happy like this the league. We winning. It was fun. The shit we doing is fun. Versus shit, this triangle, this premeditated, this shit ain't fun. Like we just standing around like
You just
slow
do
ball.
what they told you to do,
Slow
right?
ball.
Right.
We playing slow ball with 10 guards on the floor.
Right. I hate that robotic stuff, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So when you what made you really choose Chicago then?
You thinking about the scoring. You think about the scoring capabilities of your starting five. You take two right out of the picture.
Because they can't score.
You take Curry out and you take Tyson out.
Because they can't score.
They can't score. You feel me?
And now you 3-on-5.
This is how we starting off. So we're getting off to a bad start every game just because of that. Now we can't score our goddamn self and we can't keep up.
And seven-figure people can't realize that.
Yeah, and we lack scoring starting the games off. Playing against the league, bro. Now think about
I'm just dumbfounded right now because
now think about this how great the NBA is. You will get exposed, and that's all happened. That's all that happened. These different matchups, and I'm looking at the situation the coaches are putting Eddie Curry in and Tyson. Bro, listen, bro. We're playing Orlando. We're switching the 1-5 picking. We're switching the 1-5 high pick and roll.
Why?
T-Mac got Eddie Curry and Tyson Chandler on him all night.
On skates.
55, bro.
On skates.
He's going into halftime with damn near 40. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, are we just gonna keep switching the 1-5 pick and roll? Like, are we really doing this? We really got our center on T-Mac?
So they really did y'all a big disservice before. So wait, okay, backtrack just a second for me.
Yeah.
Clearly the coaching was an issue, but when you became a free agent, because I honestly thought you was gonna re-sign with Charlotte. That's just me. But when you came to the Bulls, what made you sign with them? Because you saw kind of what was in place, but you, in my opinion, you thought it was going to be different.
Yeah, I mean, I knew we was going to be young. You know, my conversations with Krause was, you know, his whole thing was, you know, we're not trying to be the old Bulls no more.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get past this Michael Jordan era. So.
Well, the triangle worked for them because they had triangle players.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes. At the end of the day, you got Mike. I mean, how much were they really in triangle offense other than the deep in the playoffs? Regular season, you got Michael Jordan still in the ball. You got Scottie Pippen still in the ball. They ain't running the triangle much.
No, they just kind of playing.
You know what I'm saying? They're not, you know, Mike is option 1. You might not get to option 2, 3, and you damn sure ain't getting to 4. You know what I'm saying? So the triangle really wasn't explored like that or ran through like that because their predominant scoring came from in the post, but from a wing player.
From a wing player, right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then heavy transition.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? So it was just my whole thing was, and from my understanding and me signing was, we're not running this triangle because the makeup of our team, we're young, we're young and we're athletic and we're quick and we're fast. So this is what I'm thinking we're going to be playing, like a West Coast team,
almost like a precursor to Golden State. With Jamal shooting and all them,
because everybody damn near 1 through 11 are 2s and 3s, are 1s and 2s and 3s,
mm-hmm.
Which means our offense should be guard oriented, meaning let's get the rebound, let's push and let's go.
Let's push and go.
Everybody can get the ball and go coast to coast and create a shot in doing that. And the weird thing to me is this is what was blowing my mind is because we're practicing how we should have been playing, which was weird. We're in practice, we're up and down.
So wait, did that come from up top?
It had to be. Which was shocking. I'm like, we start off, and this is what's crazy. And because you're caught in real, honest truth time when you see how we should be playing versus how you want to play. So you get caught up in starting off how you want to play, and then you get caught up in the real time of how we should be playing, and you don't stop it. You just let it go because
you let it carry on. Right. That's the part.
Because you're in your real heart is like, damn, like you're caught up in that. Well, shit, why are we doing this? You didn't stop us and be like, why ain't we swinging the ball here? Why ain't you going here? You ain't correcting nothing. You're just letting us go with the flow. So we're going. So now we're like, well, shit, let's just keep going like this. And in our mind, we're like, look, let's play fast so we don't got to slow down. Eddie Curry, you get a rebound, kick that bitch out quick. Don't try to take a rebound and do all that extra shit and take 2 and 3 dribbles. Get the ball to somebody. Jay Will, go get the ball and let's go. So we're trying to play at a pace where we don't have to play slow because that's what best suits us. Get a rebound, let's go run. Kick the ball ahead. We should be 2-3 passes, bro. We should be 2-3 passes, somebody getting the shot. 2-3 passes, somebody dunking the ball. 2-3 passes, somebody getting the layup. 2-3 passes, somebody getting a stop and pop jump shot because that's what we're equipped to do. This is what we're doing in practice. We're not running no triangle in practice.
And see, that's crazy. Like, why would they change that? That's crazy.
Now getting rid of coaches
like,
because now we want to play fast. Now Tim Floyd's gone. We don't want to play the triangle no more. Tim Floyd want to run. We don't want to do that. You get rid of him. Here comes Cartwright. He
had y'all winning though.
Winning. This is what I'm telling you.
I remember. I was there.
This is why I say they shitted on Cartwright. We hooping. We winning. Now we go on this Texas. We go on the West Coast, the Texas swing. Dallas, San Antonio, Houston. We in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting knocked. We're getting our doors knocked on at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck is going on? Half of us just got in. Half of us just got in at 5:36 in the morning. You heard me? And I'm one of them. So I'm in my room. I'm in the meeting with the same clothes I just went out in. I just got in, right? So I'm like, man, what's going on? Everybody looking confused. We looking around. John Paxson come in the meeting. John Paxson come in there talking crazy to people. We about to make some changes around here. You guys have had it too fucking easy. I'm like, we had it too fucking easy. We trying to figure this shit out. What are you talking about? We ain't boycotting practice. We ain't showing up late. Ain't nothing out of the ordinary from a player's perspective that we supposed to be doing that we're not doing. So what do you mean? So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get a coach in here to. I'm like, okay, so now we got another coaching change. So look, Cartwright comes walking in, right? When I tell you this grown man is bawling, crying like a 7-year-old that fell off his bike going 10 miles an hour.
Oh God.
I'm like, yo, like what, bro?
And he got that deep voice, raspy voice.
Can't breathe, bro. I'm like, bro, they doing Cartwright wrong. Cartwright is the original member.
Play with Paxson, like I don't get it.
Cartwright is he's one of the original 5 Heartbeat members, bro. He started this shit off, man. And you treat him like that.
His own people.
So I'm like, well, damn. Why would y'all fire him at the beginning of the road trip, and why not wait till we get back to Chicago after the 3-game road stint?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all did him dirty, bro. So look, Cartwright crying, hysterical. At the same time, Paxton talking shit. I'm like, bro, is this really happening right now? Is this really happening right now, bro? But this the shit motherfuckers don't talk about. I'm gonna talk about it because I mean, come on, man.
No, we appreciate it because we always wondered, we never get the real scoop.
Because that's what I'm trying to tell you.
We get the cookie cutter.
I'm like, bro, is this really happening right now? This man crying hysterically. You find this black man right here, right now. You got the white boy talking shit. Oh, hold up, bro. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy, bro. And then, all right, Cartwright, we're done. We're done with you. Go get ready for your flight back to Chicago. Bring Skiles in.
Skiles, okay.
Skiles.
Bring Skiles in.
Military.
This is crazy, bro. So, no, bring Pete Myers in first. Pete Myers is the intern coach.
Yeah.
Pete Myers is the intern coach for the rest of the swing until motherfucking Skiles start back up, right?
Okay.
So Pete Myers the intern. So we played them 3 games to get back to Chicago. We get back to Chicago, first home game. I mean, after practice, Skiles put me in the starting lineup. This is when I got put in the starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Skiles is I don't judge people until I'm around when we talk. I see how you is, boom, boom, boom. I don't prejudge people. So I think a lot of teammates prejudge Skiles just because of who he is or whatever, without really knowing him. But Skiles was cool as fuck. I ain't gonna cap.
Okay.
Cool as fuck. He was like, man, look, we started from scratch. I don't care about what went on, what this person got going on, Look, this is what it is. Boom, 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 boom. Starting. Let's go work on this game. We up and down. We running regular pick and roll, side screen and roll. We running in regular NBA sets. Niggas was back. Okay, shit. This shit back fun again. This how the NBA is supposed to be.
I'm energized, right?
Motherfuckers back energized. Like, yeah, okay. Skiles came back around here and changed the culture. Paxton didn't like that. Didn't like that.
Why?
Listen, now I go from now we play a couple home games, right? Boom, we go West Coast trip, right? We win in LA. We win in Sacramento. I think we won 4 out of the 5. I think we won 4 out of 5 on the trip, right? I'm averaging 22 on the West Coast trip.
Mm-hmm.
Come back home, first home game, right? The start right before we come out, right before we warm up. The last time to go out before we warm up, and then the game start. Right? We do the little team meeting, start lineup change. I'm not in the starting lineup no more. So I'm like, what the fuck? Just came off. We came off of. We just won 4 out of 5 on the West Coast trip. I'm averaging 22, nigga. What? Oh, okay. So and then I go back to thinking about all the conversations I had with the real veterans that I had in the NBA. Eddie Jones, Anthony Mason. Now they telling me how the NBA will fuck with your mind. Boom, boom, boom. You got coaches that'll do this. Coaches they'll do this. They'll fuck with your mind. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, now I'm experiencing this. But I'm prepared for it because I done talked about it. I done heard people being talked about it.
You knew it could possibly be coming.
So the motherfucker put me in with 15 seconds left in the 4th quarter.
What?
15 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Guess what I do?
Don't go in.
I hop up like I found $10 on the floor and I'm going to the dollar store. Oh, I found 10. Boom, I'm gone. Boom, boom, boom. I hop up, go hop in the game. Boom, 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 boom. So now all you hear, right? But prior to me telling you this moment, right, during the whole game, right, all you hear is the fans chattering. E-Rob, what's wrong with you? Nothing.
I'm healthy. I'm good.
Nothing. Y'all gotta ask him. I don't know what's going on. This is my response to the fans. We not playing this game. We gonna be direct. I don't know what's going on. I ain't hurt. I'm ready right now. Y'all gotta ask him or go ask John. This is what I'm telling the fans, bro. Put E-Rob in the game. What's going on? Now he done caused confusion. Now they playing. Now John is playing the mind game because dudes got along with Skiles, which he thought that would backfire. He thought Skiles was gonna come in there and we was gonna be intimidated. Bro, we're grown men.
Like be like a disciplinarian type,
yeah,
like a whip type dude.
Yeah, we got here because at some point we learned how to be respectful in the environment and be a professional.
True.
So we ain't coming off like, oh, we hating on dude. We don't know him yet. We gonna get to know him. We gonna get to know him just like any other person would get to know somebody. We didn't come with a straight, oh man, he finna be on. No. We had a team meeting straight off the bat before anything. Y'all got questions, man. Talk, boom, 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 boom. And I knew a little bit about Scott Skiles because he went to Michigan State with my agent.
Yep.
So I already knew he was cool and the type of dude he was, and I already knew he cool, bro. Like he was cool, but it was John Paxson. He had a personal vendetta against me for I don't know why. Then it got to a point where I'm not playing at all. So it's like, bro, what are we doing?
But he knew Krause had got you though, right?
I'm still showing up every day, every morning, on time. I ain't tardy. I ain't missing no games. I ain't missing no bus. I ain't missing no planes when we fly out of town. I'm doing everything. I'm still being a professional. They're the ones that wasn't being professional. Then think about this, right? What happened with John Paxson? Now, here's the other part that's fugazi, right? So now Jerry Krause is coming up on retirement, right?
Right.
Jerry Krause is coming up on retirement. Who's going to be the next general manager?
John Paxson.
No. It was
BJ. BJ was supposed to be, right?
It was supposed to be BJ Armstrong.
BJ was supposed to be, right.
There was no other person even in discussion. It wasn't, we not looking for nobody else. We not thinking about nobody else. BJ Armstrong is going to be our next general manager. John Paxson was doing radio at the time.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did he go from radio to general manager? Is it because he white? Is it because he white?
Well, he got pictures.
I say it's because he's white. I'm gonna say it. I think it because come on, man.
But see,
you think it's racist?
You weren't even in the picture at all. There was no discussion with
he wasn't even around the team at that point, right?
He was doing radio, that's it.
Because BJ was around the team, I remember that time.
BJ was around the team in development under, I'm assuming under, you had to be under development under somebody, under a Jerry Krause in order to be ready to fulfill that role when that vacancy becomes available, because they were saying you were going to be the one. So obviously you were supposed to be that next one. What happened in between time? To where John Paxson went from radio to general manager to a 9-player trade. Power trip, bro. Power trip, bro. Nobody gonna talk about it, bro.
The politics on that is mind-blowing.
Okay, Curry, New York. Crawford, New York, I believe. Tyson went. Where did Tyson go? New Orleans?
He did go there for a second before he went. Yeah, he had bounced around. He was on the Knicks for a little bit.
Look, he don't like me out of all these boys. Okay, where I'm going? I
don't understand. Why didn't he like you? Because Krause spoke very high. I remember the interview. Krause spoke very highly of you.
Yes, bro. John Paxson, it was something about me that he did not like, bro. And I never disrespected him. You know what's crazy? Our relationship was better when he was the radio guy. Oh, he fucked with us. E-Rob, you ain't got no 3-pointer. He used to put on my do-rag during shoot-arounds. Fucking around, playing around. Cool. Acting cool. E-Rob, boom, we shoot threes and shit. John, show me how you shoot that motherfucker. I ain't shoot threes. John, show me how you shoot that motherfucker. He was cool, dude.
He cold switched on you.
Switched up, bro. Like, what?
Wow.
What? And to this day, he has never said. I've done plenty of these motherfucking podcasts. And I spoke my real, tell it what it was every time.
No, I'm glad you did, because let me just be honest with you. Things I remember about E-Rob: high energy, mid-range assassin, will dunk your ass for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Flintstone, cold tattoo, right? All y'all, you, Mo P, all the Flintstone, everybody, cold tattoo, and just high energy, block shot defense. Like, this is what we want. But he didn't like you. Like, come on, bro. Like, that don't even make good sense.
I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know if it was.
And he didn't even tell you clearly.
No. This man used to have me in the office, bro. I'm talking about I'm back in motherfucking elementary school.
And you at the principal's office.
That's disruptor. I gotta go see the principal. John. So I come in there soon as right after I get taped up. Hey, go upstairs. John want to see you.
Damn.
So I go upstairs. I'm like, first thing out my mouth, John, let me ask you a question. What can you possibly ask me right now in this moment that you didn't say yesterday morning? What happened between 12 o'clock noon and 9:30 a.m. right now?
No, what happened on a dub plus game road trip?
Back at the practice facility. What happened? He said, here, son, I think I need to coach you on how you need to talk to the media. I said, what you mean, John?
To the media?
I said, so you want me to answer? So I said, so you want me to receive a question from the media, okay? But you want me to reply in regards to thinking like, what would John Paxson say? That's what you want me to do? No, that's what you want me to do, because you don't want me to answer how I'm going to answer, which is the 100% truth.
Right.
E-Rob, how do you feel about the triangle? Man, we shouldn't be running this shit. Don't nobody on this team run this shit. I said this to the media. He bring me in the office and highlight what I said. Bro, it's the truth, bro. We got the veteran, Charles Oakley. We got grown men. Maybe he didn't respect it coming from me because I was 23 years old. Well, he damn sure didn't respect it from a growner man than I was. You didn't respect it from Charles Oakley.
Right.
Oakley told him. They scared of Oak.
Oak put in work in this league, though. Oak put in he one of them guys now.
You're not finna tell Oakley he did anything. He ready to throw hands. He crazy, bro. Man, that's a different dude, man.
And remember, he coming back to kind of like be that veteran presence at the end of his career for y'all.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So he ain't never finna give you no buckets.
No, he ain't for that foolishness though. But that's crazy that Pax, like, because bro, like, we talk so real on this show. I don't know if you've ever seen us.
I'm like, this a different era, bro. Niggas ain't scared of you like this. You look at the niggas in the NBA, bro. You got some real hood niggas out here, bro. Niggas ain't you ain't scaring nobody out here, man. That shit you talking, bro. Come on, man. So that wasn't.
Hey, Paxson was scared though.
Wasn't no advantage for us.
No, I say Paxson was scared though. Paxson was on that team before Oak got traded for Cartwright. He know what Paxson know what Oak do.
Got Oak in here. I used to say that. You ain't got Oak in here. You got the 23-year-old in here, though. Why you ain't got that grown man in here talking shit to him like you talking shit to me? I'm gonna talk shit to you back. I'm going off the temperature of the room.
Right.
I'm not gonna come in here and be disrespectful and talk to you nigga off the street. But when you talk to me like that, that's the reply you gonna get. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna be respectful I'm gonna say, Mr. Paxson, what we got going on today?
Right.
That's how I come in there. Mr. Paxson, what we got going on today? That's how I come in there. Now your reply, your energy is how this conversation gonna go. You use cuss words.
You set the stage, so
you use cuss words. I'm damn sure gonna use them because you're not about to punk me like that. No way.
Right. I hear you, man.
It kind of don't it kind of sound like Paxson's like a little insecure though? Like,
bro, I don't know what it was, bro. I don't know if it was my contract. I don't know if how.
But that was see. Now hold on.
If how
it was Krause and you earned every bit of it. Like I'm telling you,
too hard. I don't know, bro. I don't know what it was.
I'm calling BS right now, and I wasn't even there because when you have a talent, I'm looking like
I put work, bro, every day.
Listen to what you just said,
bro.
5-game road trip, a dub or better, and he sits you.
Sits me. He puts me in with 15 seconds in the fourth quarter.
That's crazy.
I will never forget that.
So do you think that John Paxson was behind you not coming back to the Bulls?
Oh, most definitely. He used to tell me he was gonna get me out the NBA and get me blackballed.
He told you that?
Bro, that wasn't no secret. That's what they do, bro. That's what.
Hold on now. That's a whole nother podcast. We got to give you a full hour on that one now. Hold on.
Wow.
That's what they do, bro.
Wow.
When you see a nigga, you be like, damn, what happened to that nigga? They blackballed.
Wait.
These general managers sit down and have conversations just like we do. Man, what you think about such and such? Oh, man, we need to get that motherfucker out the league, man.
Hold on.
And that motherfucker, Stern,
pump the brakes.
David Stern right there in the middle of it.
Fan favorite, right? Fan favorite. Produces, ain't never been in no trouble.
Never.
Why? Name wasn't all in the papers and the media on no foolishness. Why?
Never.
Wait, they didn't like you because you was real?
I'm telling the truth. That's the way I was raised. Out them streets for real. I'm one of the ones that's really from there.
That's crazy.
And
yeah, we're gonna have to dig in. We're gonna have to get you on for a full
and educated to the point where I can recognize when you playing. Oh, y'all playing games. I was the first player to ever get an NBA buyout, bro. I started that buyout shit, bro. I was the first. I started that.
Wow.
My agent was like, let's give him the rest of his money left on his contract and we out.
Peace.
We can go sign with we can go sign anywhere after that. I'm a free agent.
Wow.
Then Isaiah got to playing games. That's a whole nother story.
Because he was the head of the players union, right?
Yeah, he was the GM man with the Knicks.
Oh, when you
went to that's another story.
That's the only reason. And I told my agent, and because I remember these conversations with my veterans, DC and them and all of them, right? So I'm like, look, I told my agent, I'm like, look, I'm not taking no buyout. I'm not taking no buyout until I got a team that I'm going to for sure sign with, because I'm not trying to be out the league.
Right.
Because I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm in this shit just for the money, like how they do niggas. So I'm like, I'm not taking the buyout unless Isaiah talking about signing me for at least 5 to 6 years. I need a max.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about maxing out me and Trevor Ariza. We were supposed to be the future back court for the New York Knicks. Me and Trevor Ariza. Back when I got that buyout. I go to motherfucking New York. I fly to New York. Me and my agent fly to New York. We can't even find Isaiah. It's a whole other motherfucking story, nigga. We can't even find Isaiah. We can't even find Isaiah. My agent
shady like that.
My agent talking about, man, let's go to the game. Let's go to the game. Niggas, you stupid. I ain't fly here to look for no motherfucking Isaiah. He's supposed to be looking for me, nigga. What is you talking about?
He's supposed to be waiting on you in the office. Yeah.
Shit, that ain't how free agency visits work, nigga. You supposed to be at the motherfucking airport with champagne and a cigar waiting for me, nigga. you talking about? Go to the game and look for him, nigga. Hell no.
Wow.
Look, I fly back. I'm gone.
Oh, you left?
Come back again, same shit. Go through the physical, right? I don't even take the physical. I had a doctor looked at my foot. That was about it. I ain't even take the team physical. So I fly back out, man. I'm like Isaiah bullshit. And then this is what's crazy. When Isaiah came to work me out, and Tim Grover jumped, because that's who I was training with when I took the buyout. I was training still. I was working out with Tim Grover down at Hoops. So Isaiah came in there to watch me work out. Took the nigga 2 hours to get out the limo. I'm in there like Tim Grover, like, what the fuck is Isaiah doing? Man, let me go out to the limo. He in there with two white bitches. What you doing?
Oh no.
Isaiah, what you doing?
What? Wait a minute. What did you just say?
Isaiah in the limo with two white bitches.
Oh my!
Supposed to be there watching me work out. I'm waiting on this nigga for damn near 2 hours. Bro, you ain't did what you supposed to do on your way here, so you can hop out and come see me and then go back to doing what you was doing. Time management, man. Come on.
Time management.
Oh my God!
You too grown to not know how to time management, bro. Come on.
My God, man!
That nigga, I said, man, you got to get your motherfucking time management right, bro. You tripping, bro. Tim Grover coming there. He in a limo with two white. I don't get it.
Hey, E-Rock, I see you got stories, bro. You got stories.
Bro, real was, bro. That ain't nobody go tell these real stories, bro.
And like I said, I'm so glad you here, man. You
real, bro. That's what I said. That's why I love doing these podcasts, because I be fucking people up with the shit I be saying.
Oh yeah, because look, we want the truth. We don't want that ESPN cookie cutter foolishness.
They treat you, bro. They treat you. They brainwash you. When D Rose hurt that knee, they ain't let him heal. They brainwashed him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do in Chicago. They don't let you heal. Look at LeVar Ball. He the next one. You will never play again. They ain't gonna give you time to heal, because they want you on that court, because all that money they done gave you.
Okay, they got to get a better training staff then.
Listen, bro, you're not ready. You tear ACL, bro. That's 2 years.
That's 2 years. Everybody know that.
D Rose didn't wait 2 years.
No, because then he hurt something else.
He hurt his other one. Because the whole year he took, he was just working on the one that was hurt. He ain't did shit with the other one.
To strengthen the other one, right?
This is why it takes 2 years, because now you got to build the other one up, because you ain't been doing shit with that leg. You just been working on the other one.
Dang.
They ain't never let him heal. They made him feel guilty. Man, come on, man. Look, we're going to shoot that motherfucking knee up with this dope. They'll shoot you up quick now with some shit. Cortisone in the knee. Cortisone in the foot. That's what happened when I fractured my foot. They shot my foot up with cortisone.
So you can get right back on.
Trying to get me back out there. How the fuck I'm a hoop with a foot I can't feel? And it's the foot I jump off of. Imagine me. Imagine that, cuz.
High flying and can't jump off the dominant foot.
Imagine that. But y'all want me to get out here and limp. Y'all want me to get out here and make and just play the play because y'all paying athletes a certain amount of money. I don't feel guilty.
No, you should.
Why? I don't feel guilty. Why should you feel guilty? You should want me to get treatment and heal up and get back out here. You want to force me to get out here because of such and such, because you paying a motherfucker, Jimmy Butler. You don't get rid of a dog like that. I don't give a fuck how bad his attitude is. He a dog.
Yeah, we hated that.
Some niggas is just different.
I don't care if it did land or Zach Levine. I'd rather have Jimmy.
Jimmy a dog, bro. Because you know what? He gonna make everybody else better. He want to win. You don't let certain niggas like that go. You got rid of that nigga. You got rid of him. You got rid of him because he said he came into practice and took, I want to play with the second unit. And he kicked the first unit ass and was talking shit the whole time. Yeah. Oh, he's bad on our guys. Come on, them niggas. They done been around bad influence before the NBA. They act like all this stuff is new. We've been doing all this stuff before we got here, man. This ain't nothing new somebody doing just because they got to the NBA. I just got to the league. I want to start smoking now. I done made it to the NBA. Let me start smoking now. You've been doing that. Let me drink. I want to get on the alcohol just because I got to the NBA. You've been drinking.
Right. That ain't nothing new.
I'm going to the mall. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. You've been shopping. Whatever you've been doing before you got there, you've been doing already. It ain't nothing new. Now, if it fuck with you, if it fuck with you because you trying something new and you ain't never did it, now that's on you.
Right.
Now you shouldn't be trying to do that and you ain't never did it on this level.
But it still sounds like management and ownership be on a lot of BS.
A lot of BS, bro. It's a mind thing. They want, if they don't, they try to control you. How can I get a parking fine? How can I get a parking fine in the players' parking lot? How? A fine? Paxton, how you finding me? Oh, you park crooked. No, I don't give a fuck if I parked on top of the building. Who the fuck cares?
Because you parked crooked?
Because I parked crooked. I'm taking up 2 lanes. I don't need you niggas pulling up next to my car. You niggas give me, everybody do it. We don't want niggas pulling up next. Get out the door. Shit up. We've been doing that. We do that when we go to the grocery store. We parking sideways, literally, like this. I'm parking my shit like this. I'm taking up 4 lanes when I go to the grocery store. You ain't pulling up, getting out the car, scratching my shit up, swinging your door open too hard. This is how we park, Paxton. Motherfucking car costs $300,000. You ain't parking next to me.
No, hey, I feel you. Because if they hit you, they ain't gonna pay for it. Oh, E-Rob, you fell out. Where'd you go? Oh, there you go.
You feel me? I'm getting hit with, man. Now he just messing with me. I'm getting fined for parking. I'm like, oh, this crazy. Right? He just got it personal. You can't wear headbands no more. Oh, you bugging. But
that was like your signature though.
But and then I said, John. First of all, I'm gonna wear my headband whether you like it or not. You're not gonna come move it off of my head. You're not gonna come do that. He get the stuttering. Yeah, you're not gonna come do that.
What was the point about
that? I'm gonna wear it because this is why. 2 reasons. I wear a headband because that's what I do. It's memorabilia for that 8-year-old over there, that 4-year-old that I'm gonna throw it away and give it to, or I'm gonna sign. Right. This is why, John. This is why I wear all this shit, so I can give it. So you think I'm gonna let you do that to the fans? Because I'm not gonna be able to make a public service announcement on why they can't get a headband. When the
they ain't gonna let you.
Bro, where's the headband? I came to the game just to get a headband because I've heard this is a specific reason why they're there.
Mm-hmm.
To collect memorabilia. They want the shoes, they want the armbands, they want the headbands. Why not give it away? Because we get a new one every game anyway. Here, thanks for coming out.
Thank you for the support,
John. You want to take that part away from the game? I'm not gonna let you do that. It's bigger than what you think by you doing that. You think you hurting me? No, you're not hurting me. How you gonna hurt me? You hurting the fans by doing that because that's who this is going to after the game.
You know what?
Locker room with none of this. So he did petty shit like that.
It sounded like he was a real piece of shit.
Petty. That would tell you some real shit, right?
Mm.
I'm gonna tell you some real shit, right? So look, I fuck with some real dudes in Chicago, right?
Okay.
Like, you know Boo and Gotti, the rappers, right?
I do, yeah.
A lot of them. I mess with a lot of them boys from the Wild Hunters, West Side. I mess with a lot of dudes from Chicago. So they real diehard Bulls fans, like on some real shit, right? So one night I'm out in the club. It's like, I think Boo was out. You know, I usually meet them at the club or whatever. I think he had about, probably been like 30 or 40 of them. This when Patron first came out.
Okay.
I think this when Patron first came out. We was at I can't think of the name of the spot. It'll come to me. But so we in there, right? I get the whole squad. We get shots. Patron. Well, this the new liquor? Boom, we get shots. We smacked in there, right? So after John was doing all this mind game shit, benching me, right? So we had a game. I didn't play at all. I think we was playing. I forgot who we was playing. I didn't play at all. So I'm in the whip on the way to the airport because we had to fly out after the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a phone call, unknown. I usually don't answer that, right? So after that, we shower up, holler at the family, get in the car, boom, everybody head to the airport. We got to fly out. So I'm in the whip. I'll get a phone call. Yo, E-Rob, man, listen. This such and such, right, man? Listen, man, we right beside John Paxson. Give us the green light. We'll wet that motherfucker up right quick. I said, man, oh. I said, ho, no, we ain't doing that. Not when y'all on the phone with me, bro.
Right.
No.
Right.
I said, nah, bro. And I hung up, bro. I said, wow, that's crazy.
But that's the love they have for you.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I said, dang. And this is what's crazy. Like, we had the worst record in the NBA, but we was number 2 in attendance, bro. We sold out every night still. So that's why we had. I'm like, man, listen, bro. We sold out every night. Let's just try to go out this motherfucker and let's just try to win, bro. That's all we was trying to do, bro.
So, E-Rob, what do you think about the NBA today, man, where they can't really foul nobody and they shoot threes all day. They're not dunking on people. What do you think about that?
To be 100 like I'm always am. I don't even really watch really.
You don't even watch.
I don't even really. I might watch. I might catch a. I pretty much don't even really watch till like playoffs probably. Like I'll be watching these games and then they reviewing every call. It's like games that's lasting in 4 hours. It's like I'm falling asleep on the West Coast game. These motherfucking games on at 3 a.m.
Yeah, man.
But I think nowadays it's and I always said it once they change the rules with the hand checking, it's watered down. I don't want to say it's watered down from a skill point. I mean the skill point level, these guys definitely have gotten better. They're definitely they have they got a high skill level. But like I say, it's easy. You can't touch nobody. It's hard to even compete.
The physicality you talking about?
Physicality is gone. There's no post up game anymore. Really, your post up game is coming more from your two guards now. You know, your guys that's posting up now ain't even 7-footers no more. Really,
this is true.
You know, now your 7-footers. A 3 now.
2 and 3, right? So how do you think you would fare in this NBA right now?
Oh, I would definitely pick up right where I left off at.
You'll pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
So you would still be dunking on heads and
because now I would be more. Like it was crazy. Like I didn't even do a lot of off the dribble shit. That's the shit that got me to the NBA.
Right.
The shit I was doing in college, off the dribble, pull up threes. I was doing all of that. So when I got to the NBA, it was more of, okay, this your role. Pin down, play defense, rebound. You know, it was more rule. It was more rule. Like this is your role.
Right.
Such and such gonna be shooting that motherfucker all the time. Such and such be posting up doing this. Then you might get it off the pin down. Like it was a role, like you know what I'm saying? So I came in, pretty much just sticking to my role and playing my role and trying to define that to get minutes to be out there and play. Instead of crossover, back step, pull up, like I was doing all that shit.
Right.
So you spent 3 years in Chicago or 2?
Well, I had 5 years. I did.
Well, one of the years was a shortened season.
I did 4.
4. 4 years in
Yeah, it was
Chicago.
4.
Yeah.
So out of that 4 years, did you really have any time to go hang out, kick it in Chicago? Because
Man,
I know you said you had some people.
man, that's
People.
all I did, bro.
Okay. All right. So then,
Back room,
say,
voyeur. What's the other one? What's the other? The gate? Is it something with the gate?
the gate.
No, what's that? Where Jordan used to be at all the time.
Uh,
I don't even remember.
I don't even know what Joy used to be at all the time.
Jordan
But
used to be a voyeur. Jordan used to be a voyeur, pulling up 50 dudes on the motorcycle, moving
I
by.
remember Voyeur, Dragon Room, Joe's.
Look, when Mike pull up on the motorcycle, don't move my shit. I ain't finna be walking around the block, around the corner to get in my car. I want to come right out this door. I see my car, I'm going right out this side door, right to my car, and I'm leaving. I'm not walking around the corner doing all that.
there was E2.
Yeah, E2. Yep.
Shit. What else? You had out south. You had the Taste.
Bro, I was at all of that. Sugars, remember that's the spot I was telling you about. Sugars, remember Sugars?
Oh, Sugars.
Ed spot.
Where was that at?
Sugars.
Yeah.
Where was Sugars at?
I remember a lot of people go to Sugars.
Downtown, right?
Oh, that was downtown.
I think it's downtown. It wasn't too far from Rock and Roll McDonald's.
Okay, yeah, that's downtown.
Velocity.
Yeah, right around there. I can't remember them streets, but yeah, it was that motherfucker. And that was just a dessert bar. It wasn't even he wasn't doing no hip hop and none of that. So once I started coming in there and telling people to pull up there, and man, he started doing hip hop night. I'm like, man, just do a hip hop night and see what it looked like. What did it look like?
Intus.
Sugars.
Club. No, I'm saying, was you fucking with Club Intus?
What is it called?
That Intus. INTAS.
I probably would.
That was downtown too. You probably fuck with that too.
Did it have a long bar in there?
Intus. Did it have a long bar?
No, I was gonna say Ice Bar, right?
I don't remember. I know it's a club on the south side called the Family Den. They got a long bar in there. But anyway, so all of this fully prepares you to answer the questions that I got. The best fried chicken in Chicago.
Roscoe's.
Huh?
That chicken?
Yeah, fried chicken.
Fried chicken?
In Chicago. In Chicago.
Best fried chicken in Chicago.
That's why I used to get my chicken from. Y'all got the what is it? Is it Harold? Is Harold?
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, Harold.
Harold's chicken.
Harold's chicken.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
That shit got crack in it.
Yeah.
Fine.
I'll stay getting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
That Harold's. Oh, yeah.
I had some Friday.
All right. So now the second question. The second question. The best pizza in Chicago.
Pizza? Ooh, what's the spot right there downtown? And I don't even eat pizza like that. But I think it was the best pizza spot in Chicago that they took me to.
Now you said downtown, so 3 of them come to head.
Oh, it's more than that?
Well, because you said the best.
I think it was downtown.
So, all right. So there's the Giordano's downtown.
I think that's the name of it.
You think that's the name of it?
I think that's the name of it. What's the name of it?
Giordano's.
Giuliano's?
Giordano's. Then the other one would be Gino's East.
Yeah, I remember that one, Gino's.
Then there's the Pizzeria Uno.
No, I was gonna say Lou Malnati's.
No, I ain't had that.
No.
A lot of tourists like Lou Malnati's.
What's the other spot?
Another spot?
That was right there on the corner.
On the corner.
You ain't talking about Tony's.
Is it Fleet? What is it called? They had the ribs and the chicken in there.
Ribs and chicken.
Julio?
Carson's?
No, not Carson.
No,
Huh?
they don't have no pizza.
Oh, what's the name of it?
No, Carson's had ribs and chicken.
It's right downtown on the corner.
Downtown on the corner. They got ribs and chicken.
It's a dry. They got the drive-through. It's a gas station right next to it.
Portillo's.
Portillo's?
Got a gas station right next to it.
Portillo. That's it. Portillo.
No, Portillo's.
I ain't never had no pizza from Portillo's.
I ain't talking about pizza. I'm just talking about a spot.
Oh yeah. It's a good spot for like
Italian beef.
Italian beef.
They did have ribs and chicken. Yeah.
That was my spot.
That's a good ass spot, man.
I used to eat at all them spots downtown.
So
we got some good food here, don't we?
On Rush Street too. All them restaurants on Rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Viagra Triangle. Tavern on Rush.
Tavern on Rush. Yeah.
It closed, but then it opened back up.
They opened it back up.
They opened back up. They closed for a minute. So you in Flint, right?
Yep.
Oh wow, man! I hope you're not drinking that water.
Oh, I'm in Houston right now. I live in Houston.
Oh, you're in Houston.
Yeah, you're from Flint. Flintstone, man. Come on.
I live in Houston right now.
Okay, good. Hey, Houston is the spot though. 50 just moved to Houston.
Yeah, 50. Bro, you'll be surprised who all live out here. There's so many people out here, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's hot as hell too right now.
Yeah, it's really like over 100.
Yeah, it's like 107 today.
God, we supposed to hit that tomorrow. I feel it right now.
That ain't even with the heat index.
Oh, that's just straight heat.
That's just straight heat. The heat index is probably like 120 out this one.
Jeez.
Like your skin hair is burning.
Like you cooking for real.
Yeah, you can fry it. You can really go crack it. Go out there and cook it.
Damn.
So this is what we got to do, man. We got to get you back on the podcast because evidently you got a lot to say. We definitely want to hear it, but we know did we lose him?
No,
he's still there. But we know it's getting late. Niggas want to go to bed.
Yeah. You know, I'm all still. So yeah, y'all let me know. Man.
Yeah. So during the season, we definitely want to get you back on the podcast, man.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
So I got your info, and if you want to tell everybody where they can find you, let them know. Because I know you got the I think you have that privacy thing on your IG, but you know people want to fuck with you, man, because they really remember you.
Yeah. So
sure.
Social media handles at erob3232. That's my handle on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. At erob3232.
We will definitely be in touch, man. I can't wait. Man. And then we got some more stories to tell, and
I got
some more insight, man. We didn't, like I said, I wish we had a little bit more time with you, but I know it's getting late, and we at the 3-hour mark. So
it's all good. That's how my times be, though.
No, and look, we love it. We here for it. Like you should see, if you can see the amount of live views.
Hours already. I'm like, yeah, that's the made up stories I got to tell. And just talking and just vibing and
Right, just kicking it. Okay, for sure, man. Well, I'm definitely gonna reach out to you during the season.
Yeah, be right here.
And if you ever get back to the Shy, man, hit us up. We'll do a special pod with you. Do a live pod at a venue. Let people know what E-Rob got going on, and when you bless us back with the city time, we gonna kick it with you.
Right, get that Harold ticket.
Oh, y'all got that.
Definitely got that for you.
Got it.
Sir.
All right, man. Well, good talking to you, and we'll be in touch.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on, man.
Thank you for coming on, brother.
All right, for sure, man.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Man, he made it, and he had some great stories to tell.
Absolutely. And just
Man, what's up with
appreciate.
John Paxson?
Hey, you know what? This is not the first time that we've heard some questionable stories about John Paxson. He just might be one of those guys that thought he was a little bit more important in his roles than what he really was. And maybe he has one of those little, not calling him a Napoleon complex type of guy because he is 6'2", but just Napoleonic in the midst of his presence and his role in the NBA, especially with the Bulls.
Right. Man, I was surprised. I was surprised at some of the things that I actually heard about John Paxson. But hey, I mean, like you kind of alluded to, John Paxson was he was controlling,
Mm-hmm.
In a Napoleonic kind of way. So, man. Well, I'm glad we don't have that problem no more. But now we have a different problem.
Wait, we got a taller John Paxson there.
Right. We have an AK problem. So now we got to figure out how we gonna fix that.
All I'm gonna say is this: I would love to get a John Paxson on the show. I just don't think he'd be as forthcoming as E-Rob was. And there's more to come.
More to come. But I don't think it's gonna be John Paxson. I don't think it'll be John Paxson. But I mean, we can definitely try.
His fault if he don't want to come on. And then also, I'd like to get Jay Mariotti on the show from back in the day with some of the reports what was going on, because something wasn't right in Chicago Bulls land after Mike and them left. Something wasn't right.
Sam Smith would have a lot of he would have a lot of insight.
I would love a Sam Smith Tribune. Not Tribune, sometimes, right? Sometimes Sam Smith.
No, Sam Smith was with the Tribune.
Okay, I knew it was one of them. Jay Mariotti was with the Sun-Times, right?
Yeah. So I mean, shit, we can reach out to both of them and see if they would like to come on the podcast. But this was definitely an eye-opening podcast with E-Rob. So,
unexpected, but appreciated.
Yeah.
And because we are over the 3-hour limit, I think it's time for some shout outs. I know it's the chat was so off the chain just during our Bears talk. Ann Stewart, Dark Spectre, you know what I'm saying? Skylark had came back tonight. Scott Hoskins had joined in. I said Ann Stewart, right? Yeah, Ann Stewart was in. My guy Ann Stewart. Shoot. It's a lot more people. My God, James Moore checked in. Thank you for chiming in. Damon had checked in earlier. Crazy Ace TV had checked in. We rock with you heavy. Frank Marshall had checked in. Thank you for chiming in. We also had our Samuel Blackwell had chimed in earlier and Austin. So we just had Manuel Valverde had checked in. Bink the DJ, brand new. The Bears had chimed in. We just had Yoga Bible chimed in. We just had so many people that showed us a lot of love, so many live views tonight. And we thank you. Just good Bears talk. And then as you see, you never know who's going to show up on the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. E-Rob checked in with us, gave us some insight on the Bulls. Got to get him back on. Got to give him more time. Got to get his story. And then last but not least, shout out to my moms. If I know we only got one person watching, I know it's all. That's it. That's all I got to.
Well, I'm going to keep mine short and sweet because it's late. So, and I wasn't on the whole podcast, so I didn't see everybody in the chat, but we appreciate everybody who was in the chat. and especially if you commented, participated. If you did not, you are officially a lurker.
L for love.
But we appreciate you anyway because you put up with our foolishness and you watch our podcast, and we thank you for it. I did want to address something real quick that I just caught wind of. There are some podcasts out there who think we steal their content.
What?
Yes, I will say it again. There are some podcasts out there who think we steal their content. What the hell are you all thinking? We don't even watch a whole lot of podcasts. We do watch some podcasts. We do watch some.
Club Shay Shay, Stephen A.
Yes, like those. But then there are some who think they are bigger than what they are and think that George McCaskey is actually watching their podcast when I can almost guarantee you he's not. You all think that we're watching you. We don't give a fuck about what you do on your podcast and what you say. We don't give a shit about that. Everything that we say comes from our minds, our eyes, our hearts, and our mouths. We don't give a fuck about what you are talking about. Whatever it is that you're talking about, talk about that. But keep our podcast out your fucking mouths.
Sounds like some jealousy.
I said it, and I'm not going to say it no more. Have a good night. So I'm done with that. I also want to shout out, Big Cat. I want to shout out my man Tommy Harris. I want to shout out Tom McMillan. I want to shout out all our previous guests, but definitely the ones that I've just talked to that let me know that they're going to be in town for the alumni game. Well, the Packers game, which is alumni weekend. I want to shout out all you guys, and I'm hoping that you guys can fuck with us during that weekend, and I will reach out to all of you. Just in case you're watching, George McCaskey, I know you're not watching, so I'm not even going to say that. But there's some other podcasts that actually think that you watch them. Oh, boy, that's funny. Tonight was Mongo's night. Steve McMichael. There will be a big announcement tomorrow at noon, I believe, on ESPN. I was told not to say shit, but I will say that
No, you won't say anything. You will tune in tomorrow at noon.
I'm going to say what Misty said. Misty said she's going to save her Super Bowl shuffle for tomorrow. So take that, put it in your pipe, and smoke it. So you can figure out if Mongo's going to the Hall or not based on that statement. I won't say shit else about it.
See you at noon.
Right. See you at noon tomorrow. Other than that, I have nothing left to say. JB, you done? I'm done.
That's it.
Easy. Can you take us out? Easy. Are you there? Easy. Easy. Are you there? Are you there?
Easy or Frank. Somebody.
I don't know if either one is there, but you know what? Damn, I can't take us out.
No, not on the phone.
No, because I'm in my car, guys. So I can't really do anything. I don't think. But let me see. Did that work?
No.
No. Okay. So I can't take us out. So JB, can we just leave the studio?
Well, we're not gonna have a choice, but we'll see you guys. Deuces.